gentlemen, welcome to Legends of Avantris. And I don't know if you could notice, but we sure all did, that this is the first time that all of us have been together for a session of Prime in, Jesus Christ, like a year and a half?
Yeah,
since pre-stream.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, almost this February it'll be 2 years. So
yeah, wow,
almost 2 full years.
So welcome back, everyone. It's really good to have everyone back at the table.
Quite literally.
I guess housekeeping. We are Legend of Avantris. We are 7 nerds that embarrass ourselves for your entertainment. 5 of us are at the table. We are a group of friends that have started playing Dungeons and Dragons over 3 years together. 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. Holy shit, 2015.
Yeah, over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Happy New Year, by the way. So we've been playing for 3 years in this campaign. And we're still only level 10. It's going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a homebrew world setting of Avantris. 5th edition, but a lot of homebrewing business that we do. So rules for fun, rules as intended, and the like. It's a mature stream. Hide your kids. We are sponsored by Summer Court Creations, which we use a lot of things. Patches, dice bags, dice trays. Link should be somewhere. Really awesome stuff. What else? A bunch of us are going to be at MagFest. If you're in the DC area, you're going to be at MagFest. We will all be there, or most of us will be there, or some of us will be there. And it's a great time, so come say hi. Let us know in the Discord if you're going. What else? I think that's it. We're doing a big old giveaway at 700 followers.
Oh, thanks. And yes, subscribe to PewDiePie. Anybody.
Subscribe to PewDiePie. Subscribe to PewDiePie. All Info Warriors.
Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna.
We gotta beat the tyrannical
T-series. They ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna.
Anyway.
Thank you, Nose.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. What else? What else we got here? I think that's it.
Let's dive in.
Well, let's introduce our players. If you're new, welcome to the Avantris fam. I guess we'll just start over here. We have Nikki playing Sylvie Flickerwicket, a gnome warlock. We have Kelsey here playing Aenon Mossgrove, a wood elf ranger. We have Richie here playing Rodek Stonehearth, a dwarf fighter. And then Andy over here playing Vanders Two Strike, a half rogue.
And I just want to say that last night in Vanders' dreams, a muscle-bound lore bard named Aqua appeared to him, and he woke up with an iron flask in his bag. So good luck dealing with that, Mikey. That's canon. That happened.
No, this isn't fan fiction. I can do what I want. It's not old school D&D. I invent spells. None of that. But maybe, you never know. Try it.
Knows the Vanders art is coming.
Yeah. Roll for death to a bunch of fun.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah.
The artist who did our Sylvie, Rodek, Kremi, and Gricko art,
you can see that in the bottom left-hand corner.
We have commissioned her again. She's going to be completing both of our campaigns, the Feywild and Prime. So we will have Vandris and Annulin art sometime in this year.
Yeah.
Because it'll
take a while.
Year.
Yeah. It's a process.
Yeah. So it'll probably be a few months, but there will be Vandris and Annulin art soon.
And yes, we'll have the entire Feywild and Prime parties
depicted officially.
So get that Kappa face out of here.
I'm Mikey. I'm the ironing board DM. I literally DM on an ironing board, and with that we'll get into what happened last time. You all had witnessed the revealing of Alphonse LeBlanc, being a vampire with a spooky chalice that sucked the souls out of some captured slaves, and had rescued Sylvie's sister from imprisonment, Evangeline. You all kind of reconvened. Sylvie back at their home in Gullhaven, the city where they have this mansion, and made sure that Evangeline was fine. She was horribly injured from her savage beating from the caravan troops. And Sylvie made her promise that she would basically sit this one out. It was too dangerous. Not only was LeBlanc after her, but if Remy Garou, the gentleman who basically runs Ogway, had found out that she'd been violating the pact between non-aggression between the gangs, there would be hell to pay. Not even Ma Puckett, her boss, would be able to save her from that. So she reluctantly agreed. Despite her passion to get back and save, and stop the slave practices of the caravan and LeBlanc more broadly. With that, she went downstairs and discussed with Orpheus. She told him about what had happened, and he, as soon as the mention of a strange chalice, he suddenly remembered something that he had read in an ancient book he had stolen from a library in a city in a continent far away in his criminal days.
So don't ask.
And it's
Australia.
It's in Baltic. I don't ask. You want to know it. And he referenced an artifact that he thought potentially wasn't even real, hadn't been seen for centuries. Something called the Chalice of Agony, from the Nine Hells themselves, crafted by a fiend of horrible power. This was a device that had 3 properties. It could basically create any alchemical substance without rare activating reagents. One also could suck the souls out of humanoids and trap them inside and torture them horribly, and use those souls in order to fuel that alchemical process. And then finally, when powered up by some strange dark process and ritual, could be used as a soul gem, and a particularly powerful soul gem. A soul gem is something that could bind the soul or souls of absurdly powerful of any creature, not just a humanoid like a standard phylactery. And he mentioned phylactery and explained what a lich was, being the nerd of the evildoers, of a wizard gone evil who goes through a process to become immortal. And he basically said that a soul gem was far more powerful, could really trap any spirit or soul in there, and realized that Alphonse was really up to no good. With that information, the party decided to kind of reward him by giving Orpheus a little bit more freedom, and decided to kind of talk, realize that they had, someone with a lot of knowledge in their corner, allegedly. Sylvie eventually made her way back to the group. The rest of the group had convened with Emiria, Avantris' former bounty hunting companion, who had finally arrived, and she explained her whole situation and how she had run into trouble with a siege troll that really slowed her down. And they basically huddled on what to do, not really sure. And they then got a letter that they were... that the dinner that they had with Alphonse that night at 8 p.m. was still on, allegedly, despite him knowing that Sylvie had seen the goings-on in the room. The party was definitely perplexed, and they went to the Hungry Catfish to try to make a quick deal with Garou. He was not there. He was gone fishing, allegedly, according to the Bullywug that they met. And they went and got dinner with Alphonse. It was a very tense affair where he was very forthcoming while still being cryptic, mentioning that his goal was really to purge the cancer, the disease, the shadow over Agwe, which he blamed on Remy Garou. And he was just doing it out of an altruistic goodwill for his city. And he just asked the party to get out of his way. And after some more back and forth, he alluded to some things about, Sylvie he was alluding to not being a puppet to a higher being, and, offered the same kind of respite for Sylvie and wanted to see her alone, which the party was not too happy about. And after, I think that was there's a lot of things discussed, but really intense, and then they left, and Avantris said, as they were leaving, someone once told me you can't run forever, alluding to the creature in the shadows that they had seen weeks before. And Alphonse said that he fully intended on running forever. And I think with that, we will start the session. You are leaving Café Commandant, following the dinner with Alphonse. Tensions are high. You can see all of the Dragonborn that had been at every single table in the restaurant, keeping their eye on you, kind of their eyes still glued as you're making your way out of the restaurant. You step into the night air. It's about 10:30 in the evening at this point, and you see the same hustle and bustle of Agwe in the new Arcadia Square, as the night is yours. The moon is approaching full. It's waxing quickly and is shining down. It's beautiful combination of moonlight and lamplight. Over the you kind of hear the street bands from various corners kind of mingling to just the sounds of Agways. The scents of all the various restaurants are all kind of intermingling on the light breeze. As despite the tense dinner that you had, things are pretty hunky-dory in Agway. What are you guys doing?
I turn to Rodek and the group and I say, Rodek, this is your last chance. You talk to Sylvie. You determine whether or not that she's willing to try to get another one of those scrolls if we're going to try to speak to Taiki. And if not, I'm going home and I'm burying my friend.
Well, Sylvie?
Yeah, I'm like literally right here.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, how do we feel about doing this? About trying to speak with the charred corpse of Avantris' friend? It sounds...
I don't know how we all feel about it, but I know how I feel about
How
it.
do you feel about it?
Well, then why'd you ask me how we feel about it?
Well, how do you feel about it?
Well, I don't like it one bit.
That's fine.
Like,
think-
what if she blows... No offense, Vandris. But what if she blows soot on my face when she tries to speak? She's, like, made of, like, dust now.
I guess my point was, we didn't know if maybe you might have some insight into whether or not an undead can even be used to speak with dead. I don't even know if that's physically possible. And I don't want to continue to be disrespectful to the remains of my friend.
Let me look into my head, as I've cast a spell before. Let me look into my head and see if,
You look into your head, and you remember that one of the requirements, it needs to still have a mouth, and it cannot be undead.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it must still have a mouth and it can't be undead.
Oh, and you knew this whole time.
Yes. But it's fine.
Anyway.
I just didn't think about it.
Well, then I am going to take the evening to cremate her remains completely.
I mean, was alive at one point. Can't we go back to like when she was alive and talk to that version of her?
Well, no, it's all about the actual body that I'm casting the spell on, and as her body is currently both without a mouth and also undead, I think that's a problem.
Gross. Okay.
Yeah, pretty gross.
So I'm
Sorry.
assuming we need to meet with Guru at this point. He's back from fishing.
I think we should, before...
Then-
if that's alright.
Then do it. I'm going to do what I need to do.
Do you want company?
I think it's best that you meet with Guru in numbers, and I'm not there, based on our last encounter.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was thinking, that it's also probably best if I'm also not there.
If you'd like to accompany,
well-
But I also don't want to, like, encroach on,
No.
like, your weird...
No, I appreciate the company, and I just have to fetch some things from town to give her a proper send-off.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of us splitting up, going in front of Guru, given what we're dealing
Well,
with.
that's fine, because if Vandris wants to go by himself and you want to go see Gru, I could just pop on over to Alphonse's house and just hang out with him.
No,
Yep,
you're
that's
not doing
what I
that.
thought,
No,
so maybe
you're
I
not
should
doing
go
that.
with Vandris.
Well, what do we... How late is it?
It's about 10:30 p.m.
Boom.
How do we feel about all going together? We all speak with him together. We can at least...
He's up until like 7 o'clock in the morning on the riverboat. Why don't we all go give Taiki a legitimate ceremony and together, and then go talk to Guru, or Vandris and I can get some sleep and you guys can go talk to Guru. I don't think you realize exactly how bad our last conversation was.
And that's why I don't want to walk in
really bad.
alone.
I'm willing to swallow my pride on this one.
That's not the only thing you're gonna swallow, Vandris.
That's
I don't even know what that
way
means.
out of line.
Yeah, what?
Way
I
out of
don't know.
line.
I've had it in the back of my head for like 3 years, even before I met you, and I've just always wanted to say it.
Well, you slowed me down with that one for sure.
You're welcome.
But I already told Guru I was willing to play ball and continue to do what we were doing before we found out the truth about Alphonse.
Yeah.
So if you honestly think that me going there with you to attempt to make amends, as far as I'm concerned, this is a business transaction.
So
The man is reasonable with
Right.
business, and
What
that's
is
it.
our plan? Like, what are we gonna say to him?
We have to give him the egg for the mirror.
That's right.
And we're just gonna say, oh yeah, he's a vampire, so here's an egg. Bye.
Yeah, we're going to confirm what we know, minus the things that Orpheus told us.
Okay.
So we're going to let him know, just so we're all on the same page. We're going to tell Guru straight up that Alphonse is a vampire.
I think we have no other choice.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why want the mirror?
Right.
That's right. And he already has reason enough to hate the man. Who knows what kind of... There are phantom robots.
You can just close
Can I
it.
close this?
Yeah, we were racing the computer in the
that?
background. We were racing a computer and Cortana was talking to us.
Cortana.
Cortana!
I lost my train. What was I saying?
Well, we.
This is great.
Cortana's really slowing me down. First Sylvia, now
I think
Cortana.
you might have to turn it off.
It's all good. What was I actually saying?
That's good.
You were saying that.
I'm gonna turn this off.
I'm dying.
Please
Thanks,
hold.
Riley. We're gonna fight with Cortana. Hold on
I'm
a
gonna
second.
move this to another room.
What was I actually saying?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you recall?
You were saying that we need to tell him that he's a vampire to get the mirror. That's
I know
what
what.
I'm
Yes, I was going to say. We already know that he hates the man, and if he finds out the truth about Alphonse being this more than powerful being, he may be willing to lend us some extra help. If you know what I'm saying.
Are we gonna tell him then that like we were in that room and that's how we saw it?
No.
Because he's gonna want to know how we knew.
Oh, how we know? Oh, I misunderstood
Yeah, that
what room
Alphonse
you
is
were
a
talking about.
vampire. Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't think we need to get too much into the details, but we can say that we. Well, okay. Actually, that raises another question.
We should have a cohesive story.
So that raises. Let's just say we're walking back to the boat while we're doing this conversating.
That's fine.
What I would say, this raises another important question. Do you believe the Guru is going to be angry with your sister for what she did? Because he specifically mentioned working with Alphonse, not against him. And she was doing things to disrupt his plans.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But my concern is that I don't think that he will be, but if he is, and he has one of those weird death dolls, then my sister's poof! And, I kind of blew my cover, sorry, wrong thing. I blew my cover when I saved her life from Alphonse. So, to then blow my cover and then get her killed by telling Guru kind of seems dumb.
I'm not even saying we volunteered the information, but I'm worried he may find out.
Yeah, and so that's my thing. I was kind of thinking, like, if he is going to find out, maybe we should just be the ones that tell him and be like, yeah, my sister, she's my sister, ah! And see what happens. But I was really mean to him the last time I saw him, so I don't think he's going to do me any favors.
Well, if we all go to Guru's place together, we're going to start by apologizing.
Ooh, oh, wow, I'm...
No, that's right. That's what we'll do.
I'm not
You'll
going to
apologize.
I'm not going to apologize for the things that I said,
Well,
but I will apologize for the tone with which I said them.
That's right.
I'm
That's
gonna
right.
cast major image on myself to make myself look very green and deathly ill.
Oh, I'm so sick! I have to go back to the boat.
Well, good thing we're already on the way.
I have to go back. I can't leave today.
Well, we'll see if you come to in an hour or so.
Well,
What is that supposed to
you're
mean?
coming either way. You don't have a choice.
I have 2 spell slots, Avantris, and I'll use them both, goddammit.
But yeah, I'm just gonna be sickly green and gross for the next hour.
On the way towards the boat, do we pass any kind of like merchant district or like shops and things?
Yeah, there's a lot of shops all over the place, and you're kind of walking through the main thoroughfare that separates the districts. You'd be able to stop at.
I just want to buy a nice urn.
Yeah, I'd say
And
you'd be
perhaps
able
fuel.
to. You'd be able to stop into a shop in Little Yulong
Oil.
with a real nice elaborate urn. It would probably cost you 5 gold pieces.
and
Done.
some candles and
Yeah,
some
we'll say the
incense
whole
or
lot costs you 10 gold pieces for like really nice urn, really nice candles and oils and fuel and the like. And you
I want to get a no, I don't. That's all.
okay?
And then we'll make our way back to the boat. If anyone has anything to say.
What if
What if we bring him a gift? Because I know when I'm really mad and someone's been mean to me, I appreciate having a gift. Along with an apology.
While I think that logically makes sense, Guru seems more of a man of trades than gifts.
What if we make a lighthearted bet with him?
I will do no such thing. That man is truly evil.
I agree.
I'm not sure we know that. I really don't.
Oh no, he's evil.
Well,
I can tell these things.
You're gonna tell me after the bizarre candlelight, the spiders, the stitchers, the same candlelight, the bullywogs and the skulls,
And the lollipop
murder dolls, maybe lollipop heads, that
Right.
this man is good.
I'm not saying he's good, but my point is, I believe at this point he may be less evil than Alphonse. At least he's not regularly killing multiple people every night.
That
Not
you
that
know
you know
of.
of.
That's
Oh,
right.
ooh,
Jinx.
Jinx! Ha-ha! Get him, Rodak.
Well,
I mean, Annulin. I'm not used to you being so close.
well,
You normally feel like you're hundreds of miles away.
it's weird how that works, right? Well,
So glad.
I think a gift's not a bad idea. He likes whiskey.
It's a
That's-
southern thing, right? You're
Right.
southern, I mean...
Whoa!
They like to drink
Okay.
whiskey on the
Rodak.
bayou.
I don't want to hang out with Annulin anymore. She just called me Southern. Is that
offensive thing.
You're from here, right?
Ah!
Anyway, let's buy a bottle of whiskey. Let's bring it
Yeah,
to
he'd
him.
love that.
And
Fine.
right,
Fine.
all right. So
Yeah, or if we can't find any whiskey, we can find him some whiskey because that's the type of alcohol that people drink in the
either
I
one.
have
that's,
heard of that also.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
great.
awesome.
So we'll stop by like a liquor store. and
Okay,
we'll
you
get-
stop by a liquor store. It's ranging all sorts of whiskey bottles, ranging from like, you know, 5
Relatively
silver
good stuff, but
to
nothing
like
crazy.
25 gold. 25 gold is like the real nice shit.
Let's just do that one.
That's fine.
Let's do like
We can
24
afford it.
because we don't want to look too desperate.
No, we want him to know we're powerful.
We are pretty much rich.
Okay, alright.
Just a drop in the bucket.
You don't think that's tacky, you know, like we're flaunting?
No.
It's almost
Well,
like
We're literal heroes.
would he might not appreciate anything less. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
it's safe. If we can afford it, might as well.
yeah. We now have 25 gold left.
Total?
Right?
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
buy.
What?
There's no way. Anyway,
you buy a
I'm sure
vintage.
she's kidding.
I would bet a large sum
Rodak
of
has a mini
money
heart
that
attack.
most of it is platinum.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well.
You buy a bottle, a vintage bottle called the Bog Beast. It's some super peaty whiskey, and it's 25 gold. It's very old. And
What's it called?
The Bog Beast. And it's gonna
Not
taste
this
like
guy.
it's gonna taste like a campfire.
Before we go, was there like an alcohol or something that Taiki liked? Because, you know, she was kind of a lush.
It would be easier to list the ones that she didn't.
Oh, awesome. Should we get some and, like, you know, drink to her or something? Is that like things that people in the north do?
I suppose that that might be nice.
Could honor her with a toast.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? We'll grab another bottle of something that's not obscenely
Not a
expensive.
bomb beast.
Yeah.
You spend like probably 3 gold on a bottle of cheap whiskey that you
It
liked.
doesn't have a name.
Oh,
Swamp animal.
yeah.
Yeah, it's called swamp animal.
They'll call it the Wood Whipper Wallow. They call it.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah, that's the.
The hood. Whipper-wallow.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for helping me really be immersed in this
Yeah,
game.
you're immersed now officially. And you,
What is the liquor store clerk's backstory?
What's his name, actually? We've been buying a lot of alcohol from him.
His name is Fester. He's a dwarf, and he can't speak. He speaks with signs.
What is the sign for whiskey?
It's whiskey.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. What about whiskey?
The same.
Sorry.
He ushers you out very quickly. as he's had enough of your shenanigans, and you are on, you're back on the, there's like, it was called, it's full of these crates and barrels of alcohol. The place is called Crate and Barrel. And you leave Crate and Barrel.
Great session.
And you make your way back to the Knight's Patience.
Are there? So we're obviously there's a bunch of docks for ships,
yeah,
right?
there's a whole harbor.
But I assume are there? I know it's like swampy area, but are there beaches?
There are beaches. Remember, this is fully on a river. The whole. It's a large.
So it's more
river.
like riverbanks.
Yes, they're riverbanks down further.
But there'd be land, right? Like on the edge of the water.
Yeah. There's definitely like banks down into the river once you get farther south. From
I would say that's probably where we would do this.
Okay.
Just like away from the docks, but like by the water.
Okay.
And then build a fire.
Are we like Viking?
No, I
Okay.
just don't want to cause a forest. Smokey the Bear's watching. Only you can prevent forest and swamp fires.
That's true.
Yeah, the great thing about swamps is they're very wet. So even if you were in the middle of the trees, you're gonna have a hard time lighting a fire anyway.
I feel like swamps are also gaseous.
Oh.
Whoa, I don't know what kind of swamps you're going
I'm just
into,
saying.
buddy.
You just got to be careful about that. You know,
That's right.
I mean, we do
flammable.
have. Well, we're bringing a dwarf. So.
So anyway,
Well, I'm not sure how that's related at all.
I guess what we'll do is
Because
retrieve.
you are also gaseous.
Is that your intention?
So stand
Oh.
10 feet back.
All right. Well, you light the fire, and I'll just
Not
stay
start on
here.
it.
Then that's fine. I'll go.
We'll retrieve Taiki's remains from the boat.
Okay.
Go down to the riverbank.
Okay.
Build a campfire, large bonfire.
You make your way into the ship.
Toss
Amiria doesn't
later,
seem to be there. She said she was going out to do some things in town, and so you grab Taiki's body. It's bundled up, and you make your way out of the docks. And there's a little path that kind of leads out of the harbor down the stone platform that kind of starts the main Magnolia Promenade that goes out down along the river where a lot of fishermen would go to just kind of cast a line or a net. And you make your way probably 20-minute walk out of town, and you find a little spot on the bank that's kind of quiet. You have the reeds kind of blowing gently, and the tree cover is kind of has dispersed on the side of the river. It kind of is going into low rolling plains once you get out of the embankments of the river. And the night it's late. It's probably approaching 11:30 midnight at this point, and things are quiet.
Oh, they are. It's awfully quiet out here.
All right, so then we'll, do the. I'm not a cremation. I'm spoiled with that. But we'll build a fire with her in the
Should we
center.
build like a pyre and then put it on fire?
Yes, well, but she's in
You
the
don't
middle.
wanna, like,
She's
toss her
no,
in.
I know that was me being facetious.
Okay.
Yes, we're gonna build a pyre and use the whatever oil we purchased or whatever, and then
Should we send her with like, I don't know, tokens? Isn't that what you're supposed to do for the afterlife?
Well, I don't. In her last moments, I don't want her to look like a toasted Dracula. So
Cast major image on her to make her look exactly as she was in life.
Oh.
Okay.
well, that's sweet.
That is sweet.
So as Sylvie casts this magic, you see kind of the charred, particularly the upper half, remains of the vampire of Taiki is washed. The charred gray flesh is replaced by a pink skin that's full of life, but eyes closed and at peace. The fangs are covered by plump lips and shining dark hair as her hands are folded above her bosom. She is laid peacefully and looking how you would have liked to remember her.
well, that's better.
Thank you. That was very thoughtful.
Of course.
I'll just take flint and steel out of my pack and.
Okay. So you grab the flint and the steel, and do you cover her in the alcohol?
Yeah, the oil or
the
whatever.
oil, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
we
So yeah,
purchased
you poured all of the oil, and she's all ready to go, and you hear the spark go, and immediately it lights in the corner, and it quickly spreads to the rest of her, and the smell is less than great, but the image of the major illusion stays firm. As the body burns, you see kind of almost like a still full image of Taiki as she was in life in the flame. And you all sit as smoke billows up, occasionally being dispersed by the wind of the riverbank. And
I'll just say I took 4 cups from the boat and hand them out and pour a little bit of the bourbon or whiskey into the cup and just say, I knew Taiki for almost my entire time in Gullhaven, which is a very long time. And we got into some wild adventures and made some money and lost some money and lost some friends and made some friends. And it was quite the experience. And even though we had lost touch for a while and the circumstances which brought us all back together was less than ideal, it was still good to see her one last time, because I thought for a while there that I'd probably just never see her again, just based on her kind of wandering nature. And so I hope now that she can rest in peace. And even though I said it to Guru, and we know now that he is not responsible for this, it still holds true, and we will avenge her. One way or another, right. We'll get to the bottom of this, and then she'll be able to rest in peace. And I raise my glass.
To Taiki.
To Taiki.
You all put a drink back as you kind of hear the low call of the whippoorwills off into the swamp, as the moon kind of is starting to set, as the wind once again kind of rustles the reeds and the tall grass, and you hear the loud, low croaking of bullfrogs as the fire starts to die down, the oil and fuel all burning, and turns into kind of just smoldering embers on the platform that you built for her. And you Sylvia, are reminded of a old wives' tale legend that when the whippoorwills cry, it's them trying to catch a soul leaving a body, and when they stop their cry is when they fail in their quest and the soul escapes. And the whippoorwills die down, and you're left standing over the burned remains of Taiki, Heartseeker.
I'll take the vase out and just scoop as much of the remains into the vase as I can, put the lid on, attempt to seal it, and I think for now I'll put this in my room on the night's patience, and then we can either bring her back to Gullhaven one day, and she can stay in the mansion, or maybe Seamus would like to look after her, or well, I don't think we should give her to Forgus, but
no, he won't trust that it's even her in there.
Right. So we'll figure out when the time comes, but like I said, hopefully now she'll be able to rest in peace.
You did a good thing.
You did.
Well, I feel like I didn't do enough, but I tried.
You did what you could, lad. You did what you could.
And now, out of your friends, we need to be focusing our attention on Hissy. Because if she really is there, if we can help her, we have to try.
You're right. And at least, as Orpheus said, if she's already been turned or changed, then there may not be hope, but if we have to, we'll make sure that she has the ability to rest easy as well.
That's right. Well, hopefully her soul, whatever it is, has rest.
And unfortunately, now we have to talk to Guru. So
let's go.
Let's make a stop. Let's make a stop by the boat, and then we'll head on to
Faker.
Faker Dinker.
not a faker dinker. I'm really sick.
You are looking better.
Shit. I don't have any more spell slots.
Well, why don't you rest on the way back, and then we can all go together, just in case you need some spells for Guru. Please don't use any unless absolutely necessary.
Okay.
All right, let's go. We go to the boat.
You make your way to the Knight's Patience, and Vanish, you've tightly packed all of the, or most of the ashes. You got most of it into the urn and packed it nice, sealed it, and it's looking presentable. And you all make your way in silence, kind of reflecting on what's happened over the past several days and just the severity of and the consequences and the stakes of what you're all dealing with. As you eventually make your way back up the winding fisherman's path up to the harbor and back on to Magnolia Promenade, as I switch my music. And you all convene back at the Knight's Patience. You, as you're making your way through, you go down below deck, and you see that Emiria's doors closed, but there's a little bit of candlelight coming out from beneath. You get the sense that she came back in probably the 2 hours that you were out bearing Taiki. Okay, what are you guys doing on the ship?
I'm just gonna put the urn in my room.
Oh,
thank you,
Natasha.
Natasha.
Thank
I
you,
love
Natasha.
you so much. Thank you.
I'll just put the urn in my room and then wait up on the deck for everybody to be ready.
Okay, so you make your way back. You pass Taiki's room Emiria's room, as you place the urn on a little table in your own living quarters, Avantris. As you all make your way back up, meet on the deck, and head out back onto the ship, off the ship, and into the night of Agwe. You make your way up, and although it's probably 1:30 in the morning, the nightlife on the promenade is pretty intense.
Do we get a short rest?
Yeah, you get a short rest, for sure.
That's important.
I would say the walk back would have counted as a short rest. And you make your way, and the nightlife is absolutely more intense. However, you notice something. You notice that there's more and more people that are kind of passed out onto a barrel or kind of back in an alley, kind of covered in puke, or just people that are just kind of dazed with like this look on their face, like they're just kind of blitzed out of their mind. As you kind of see people in varying states as you make your way through. A sight that you had definitely seen prior, but definitely a much more common occurrence on this night as you're making your way up through up the promenade. And then you see the hungry catfish in the distance, anchored in the spot it always is, past the large bridge that connects the Crawdad Quarter and the promenade. And you make your way up to the ship. The several large gangplanks, I guess, that walk up to the various, or rather the first deck of the ship, and you arrive, and it is in full swing. The music is going, different bands on different levels, and you see a number of bullywugs, kind of all waiting, standing at attention. You see the various guards that are, armed with like either spears or swords. The occasional one with a spiked maul. And they just are checking you, and they notice your weapons on you, but they are kind of keeping an eye on everyone that goes in, and you are welcomed up to the deck, and you are on the Hungry Catfish.
I want to look around just for like the nearest bullywug.
You
Looks like
see-
he knows what he's doing.
You,
I guess if a bullywug can
The
know what
most
he's doing.
experienced
Yeah.
bullywug.
you see a
bullywug.
bullywug returning from a outdoor roulette game with an empty tray. The rings of condensation of where you assume glasses were coming from the bar, and you manage to stop him, and he turns to you and goes, "Whoa."
Oh, excuse me. May we speak with Mr. Gru? Do you know where he is? Is he in? Mr. Gru?
And he looks at each of you.
He knows us. You've probably seen us around. All right, we'll go on.
And he drops his tray. And he
I'm so
clatters
sorry,
to the ground. And he,
Can they help you, perhaps?
That one's gonna be killed, so...
it was empty. So it's just a clattering of an aluminum tray as he tries to go and pick it up. He looks incredibly embarrassed. If a frog can blush, he does, or she. And picks up the tray and just and continues off on
Looks
his way.
like he's in. Let's go.
Lead the way.
So
Okay.
I'll lead the gang up to the top deck behind the bar.
Yep.
Where
You
his office
you
is.
make your way up to the top deck on the fourth deck. On the fourth deck, the intimate, the kind of more of the intimate lounge. Obviously, this is the smallest, just by the way that physics work. And let me switch my business here. Apologies.
I apologize.
I apologize.
And so you make your way into the small lounge, and you see the same bullywug that has been there kind of at the bar. This one seems to be a little bit older, a little bit more beat up. You kind of see the top of a scar kind of running down from his neck down into his very neat pressed clothes. And as soon as he sees you arrive, he kind of looks at you and adjusts his bow tie almost subconsciously and points a thumb back behind the bar, that little hallway, and he goes forward to lift open the barrier of the bar and allows you to walk through. You are once again met with that same familiar narrow corridor. You see the office of Remy Guru closed, but that warm glow of light beneath. You're now standing at the door.
Do we hear anything going on behind the door?
Make a reception check.
Oh, I will.
Turn the musical level.
Oh.
I love her. I missed her so much.
Ooh.
Don't you ever
Was that an
hear from
anyone?
me ever again.
Shut up, it's a natty 6. What'd you tell me to do? Sorry, perception.
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 13.
13. You listen, and what you hear is just kind of just the stomping of footprints, kind of walking around.
Like one set?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna say any of that.
I go ahead and knock.
Okay.
I love this music.
You knock 3
Sexy.
times, and you hear a voice.
Sexy.
What is it? Can I wait?
Do you want a dragon egg?
You hear an audible sigh. And then, y'all done changed your mind, huh? Come on in.
I'll open the door and walk in.
The door opens, and you see Remy Gru standing in the center of the room. He is adjusting a tie. He is in just a simple white button-down shirt and a vest and slacks, and just simple nice shoes. You see in the corner of his room a pair of large black boots covered in mud, almost kind of still wet, kind of propped up on the corner, and his hair is wet, as almost if he's as if he's just bathed, freshly slicked back. And you can kind of, as soon as you step in, you smell the kind of strange perfumes and the erotic alcohols that is familiar to his office. But there's that same kind of stench of the swamp that is kind of lingering here. And you see he's kind of he pulls out a comb, and he's kind of just gently combing the thin beard along his jawline as he's kind of looking down as you all come in, and he looks up at you, and he reaches down and grabs his hat and places it on his head and tips it. I thought I'd never see you in here again.
How come? Sorry.
She means that I've heard that it got a little ugly last time that they came to visit. and we've come bearing gifts and apologies.
Just one gift.
One gift and one apology.
And
2 gifts, sort of.
To be fair,
This
I
one's a trade.
don't need anyone to speak for me. I will face you man to man and say that I am sorry for the way that I spoke to you. I'm not sorry for the things that I said, because I meant them. But I know that you're a man of business, and I'm still willing to do business with you, and we're here to talk a business trade. But I am sorry for the disrespect that I showed you.
He kind of sits and his eyes narrow a little bit, and you can see as they kind of dart back and forth between all of you. There's gears turning, and then once again his lips peel back into that familiar grin, and he said, "Well, it takes a real man to apologize after something like that and admit when he's wrong. Hell, even I know I have trouble doing that, so I respect you, Avantris. And you, girl, next time if you want to leave, no need for magic. The door is right over there. Works just fine." He steps over and he opens it and he closes it.
It does seem to work pretty well.
And I would use it if I felt like it.
And again, I think we've all been through a lot, so I think that a bit of understanding goes around the table. And just as a token of our business...
Hold on. I also want to say that I do not apologize, but we brought you alcohol. It was 25 gold, so you should appreciate it.
Please, excuse my friend's crassness. We thought it would be a gesture of good faith to share a drink.
Well, that'd be just fine, and I appreciate that. Y'all didn't have to do that. I more than anyone understand how tensions can get high when family is on the line, or those that may not be bound by blood but are indeed our own family.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad that we have an understanding then, Mr. Guru.
I mean, it's only, and you also have something I want. I am not a poor businessman.
Yeah. Also, did you know that LeBlanc is a Dracula?
Excuse me, darling. He
Yeah.
he reaches out for the alcohol.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, no, we found out also that LeBlanc is Dracula. So, yeah,
What
a
she
Dracula
means-
is a butterfly, also a vampire, and probably far more powerful than Taiki. My guess is that he's probably the one that turned Taiki, but we don't really know that.
He blinks a little bit, and he starts to peel the wax seal off the bottle, starts to pull it off, just sitting.
Were you aware of this?
He continues to kind of look. I was not, but that sure makes a hell of a lot of sense. Clever son of a bitch. Doing a bait and switch.
What do you mean?
Well, your friend, I assume, was to get everyone on his trail and then get them clean off when she got taken care of. He's smarter than he looks, I'll give him that. He pulls out the cork and he grabs a tray of 5 glasses. Pours one for everyone.
I'm going to telepathically tell Lumi to whisper in Rodek's ear, is it important to tell him about Regara? Blink twice for yes, blink once for no.
Lumi whispers that very quietly too.
I'm just going to reach out for a glass.
Yep, he puts it on the table. I appreciate your hospitality.
Twice for yes, once for no.
I'll blink twice.
Okay, you blink twice. I would say you don't even need to roll. That would be subtle enough. And Guru takes a glass and he says, "Well, I appreciate your kindness and please enjoy what it is that you provided to me. And may we be friends and business associates once again. As now that I am connecting several dots, you will pardon my distraction as I will enjoy this beverage and ruminate."
I take a sip and I say, well, it's clear now that we are going to need that mirror, but do you mind if we talk and ask you a few questions?
I always enjoy talking business, Avantris.
Well, mirror aside, if you're willing to share, because I think knowing what we know now about Mr. Alphonse LeBlanc, information is going to be more important than ever before. Do you mind telling us what dots you might be connecting?
Just his courtship with the caravan, all them people then bringing in from Neckbet as soon as he came to town, and I guess the boys feeding. I knew vampires were real. I'm old enough to know that. But I thought that they were more like cellar pests, like your friend, no offense.
And I believe we thought so as well. And you don't seem at alarmed, though, learning that fact.
Well, what I can't piece together is how he's ripping the souls out of my bullywugs that I recently discovered, and how he is influencing changes in leadership in gangs, as I have recently been alerted to. And I am a man with a temper, and I work very hard. But I am at my wit's end.
He has a succubus. So that could, do it, I guess. Right?
A succubus.
Yeah, it's like his little Mina friend. She just turns into, a really, really sexy... Whoa. Oh, boy! Oh, Sylvie's getting a little wild. She's nice. She's not nice. It's a different kind of nice, I'm sure you know.
What's been? Can you tell us what you know about what's been happening to your bullywugs and their souls?
My sinners. I sent them to go snoop on that son of a bitch as soon as he came back to town. None of them ever came back until I decided to stake out, and I finally sent a group to finally saw that. Went over to his mansion, stepped over a line of something. Soul got ripped right out of him, fell down. The other bullywug ran for his life before he could see what happened to the body. I assume someone came and collected.
You mentioned changes in leadership.
I do.
I know that as a man of business, this is something that you can't allow to just happen. So, barring any immediate intervention from the four of us, what do you plan to do about that?
Now that is what has been on my mind. Now with the change in leadership and a new leader that does not swear fealty to me, that is an act of disrespect.
What do you know about this new leader?
I know that she was an ambitious captain of Regara's guard, that people had warned her about her and the blues in her command, that they had a sense of pride for being the most powerful of the Dragonborn, the ones that had not lost their capital after thousands of years. Classic dragon quarrels. But the fact that she could let herself, I don't know what the fuck happened, but all I know is that there's already been 2 raids. One on the Bushwhackers and one on the Jade Iris. And there may be a whole lot of bloodshed to come if I don't do something. So that's why I went out and did what I always do when something's on my mind, going fishing. Out on the bayou, out there. It's like I can be myself. It's like I can think clearer than here. But, besides burning this whole fucking place to the ground, I can't think of anything.
I guess the reason I ask is specifically for the reason you just mentioned. Alphonse's mansion appears to be impenetrable. We're certainly not going to lay siege to the man's house.
It seems that way.
Sorry guys, but, yeah, that person that killed Regara, that's actually the succubus that I mentioned. So, just in case you weren't aware that Alphonse was now controlling the caravan, hey! He is.
I knew that they... How do you know that?
So, I will tell you this next thing if you promise that you will not touch a hair on my sister's head and you will never hurt her ever. And you have to promise that or I give you no more information and no more help. Alphonse personally scares the living shit out of me. And that's the only reason I'm telling you what I've told you so far.
Make a persuasion check.
Inspiration.
17.
Ooh.
His eyes narrow as he steps over to you. His massive looming figure crouching down to be at your eye level. And he says, I'll give you a gambler's promise that I will harm no hair on whom you speak.
And I will.
His massive hand engulfing Sylvie's. As he leans in and says, tell me what you know, girl.
So, I know that my sister got into some trouble in over her head, and I was looking for some lady time fun over at the Desert Rose, and they basically closed the whole thing out, found it very strange, and I discovered that they were holding my sister there, and so I went in on my own, and I rescued her from the situation, but I was there just long enough to see that LeBlanc killed Regara. Well, he didn't kill her. Well, I guess he kind of did. He killed her, and then his succubus turned into that weird blue tiefling dragonborn. They look the same thing, basically, anyway. And then I just left at that point. But yeah, she's the one who's controlling everything, and that's what I know. I think. Is that all I know?
That's right.
Is that all I know? Yeah, that's all I know. Does that make sense?
He runs a tongue along the top row of teeth as his eyes kind of glaze over and gears start to turn. And all of a sudden, damn him! He throws the glass across the wall. Oh, thank you!
Thank you.
And throws it against the wall. Glass shatters, and whiskey sprays everywhere and drips down the wall. And he looks at you and he says, "Thank you. I'd had my suspicions," and he calms himself down. "I'd had my suspicions, but to be made a fool of, thinking that he can take my city from me. He can cause gang warfare, instability. Soon they'll be bringing in militaries trying to quell this shit. And I have no idea what the fuck his endgame is, sucking the blood out of girls, sucking out souls. I don't know what the fuck that is. But the timeline seems to be short.
That's right.
And now that my options are slim, I think it's time we made a deal.
All right. What do you propose?
I have the mirror that y'all know about. Y'all have the egg.
That's right.
It's true, yeah.
You killed that son of a bitch dead. And bring me whatever he is using whether it be some woman in his employ or otherwise, whatever that line of chalk, whatever it is that he is using to suck out souls, I want that.
Why do you want that?
Because I'm a man with a unique hunger. I'm a collector. A hunger that cannot be baited by simple things. I like to... anything that's strange and exotic, I want that egg. You've seen some of my collection here on this shelf.
Now, if I may be so bold, I'm not one to know much about magic. I have told my companions multiple times I steer clear of that kind of stuff like the plague. But don't you think that maybe something like that is too powerful for anyone to own?
Nothing is too powerful for me to own, boy.
And what if it's just, he's an alchemist? What if it's something he made
It
and
could
he
be
only...
an intangible thing.
Then bring me a recipe, write it down in a fucking cookbook. That's something I don't know how to do.
Now, it's a deal. We do that, we bring you that, what do we get in return?
I've been waiting for this. He reaches out his left hand, and in a poof,
Oh, I do things like that.
a poof of just pink.
Ooh, color. It's
Don't
like
mind, it's a little parlor trick that we have here in our way. Don't worry
it's
about
more
it.
than a parlor trick.
Hanging on each of his fingers is an amulet. At the end of each one is the medallion of a skull, intricately carved in the same style as the mask that you had seen in the cemetery. 5. Thank you, Zonda. Appreciate it. Thank you for the sub.
Thank you.
He's 5 amulets?
5. One for each of my fingers on my left hand.
Oh, so Lumi gets one.
Now, these things do the trick. They ain't as powerful as they could be. Rhett didn't have too much time. I like to pass the time while I'm fishing. That's why a lot of times they call it waiting, not catching. So these are what I have. They will prevent your soul from forcibly being removed underneath the night of a full moon. Limited window, but I think on a night like that, I would trust y'all would do the right thing. These and my mirror. He takes both of them and goes over to his desk and places all 5 of them down.
You wouldn't happen to know when the next full moon would be, would you?
Well, I thought everyone did. 5 days, Nuit Blanche, Carnival.
Is that a thing in Ugly?
Oh, it is a local holiday here. One of the feast days of Saluna. Starting tomorrow, you'll be seeing all sorts of people coming into town. Well, 5 days, 6 days.
Is this once per year? Is it every month?
It's once per year. First full moon of winter. It's a little bit of a local holiday. Not many. We don't think too much of the religious implications, but that's the next full moon. 5 days may be all we have. He keeps doing what he's doing. I sent a few bullywugs out to Sunsteel War. They ain't come back. And that is very unusual. It's normally the gangs that fear my sinners, and not the other way around.
How do we know that they'll work? Your amulets.
You ain't gonna trust a sinner like me.
I'm not saying I don't trust you, I just mean...
We're risking a lot.
It's a huge risk and we don't know what he's capable of.
Well, putting these on is sure the hell of a lot better than having your soul ripped out of your body and collapse into the ground like a pile of dirty laundry.
So you'll give us those 5 amulets and the mirror for this dragon egg.
And a promise.
And a promise. And I know you hero types, unlike all of these fucking cutthroats in my town, are actually people of your word.
That's right. Well,
I would be willing to make this if you could add something to the promise. That if we deliver this thing to you, that you'll never use it. It will just be part of your collection.
Now, what would I do with something like that?
That's the question.
It'll just sit in my little hoard.
You can make that part of the promise, part of the deal. I will make that deal with you.
Sounds like we have an agreement.
Insight check.
Roll.
Don't trust you. 15.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Alright. It checks out.
I step forward and I say, we don't really have any kind of a choice.
And that's exactly right.
And I stick my hand out.
He reaches out,
100%.
that tanned, leathery hand grips your hand. It's a pleasure.
I hold my hand out for an amulet.
You'll get your turn, Vandus. I need to shake the rest of your fine friends' hands. We have a deal.
A deal.
I knew y'all would come around.
I'll start collecting the dragon egg from the bag of holding.
He goes over to the footlocker by his desk and he pulls out a large key, unlocks it, pulls it open, and produces that same silver mirror, intricately forged. The bats, the emblems of bats all along it. It kind of shines and almost kind of barely catches all of your reflections. Almost takes a second to register, and then your reflections appear. And it kind of hums with this light. And he grabs the mirror with his right hand and he scoops up the 5 amulets, one on each finger. Let's see the egg.
I'll pull it out and I'll put it down. Is it like a table?
Yeah,
I
there's a
wouldn't
large
crush.
table.
Like, does it
There's a
seem
large
like it'd be
table.
I
reasonable?
too pull it out and put it on the table.
It lands with a thud. It lands with a heavy thud.
Sorry.
The dragon egg, about probably yay big. It's huge. You put it down to kind of move some of the glasses. And as Gru's kind of walking over, as soon as you pull it out of the bag and puts it down, you see Gru's face is kind of like be washed and his eyes kind of widen. I always knew it would come to me. It is beautiful, everything I was hoping it would be. He goes over and here, come take your things. He just kind of shoves everything over to the first person.
I'll hand out the medallions and I'll put the mirror in the bag of holding.
He walks over and kneels down. He kind of runs a hand over it and says, his eye, as you're kind of starting to notice, there's tears, kind of almost water starting to well up in the corners of his eyes. It is such a beautiful thing. Look at it. Brimming with potential and life. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Is this of particular significance to you?
He kind of looks back at the egg, kind of half ignoring you, and gives it a tap, and he lifts it up, and he's kind of smiling down at it, and then he looks at you and shakes his head and says, "Nah, I just appreciate the beauty of life and the beauty of such power. It's uncomparable." So he walks over and he places it on top of the footlocker.
I can tell you're quite enamored with it, and I hate to change the subject, but we gotta talk about this mirror. How does this thing work? Do we have to get him to look into it? Do we have to maintain eye contact? Does it need to be facing him at all times? How does this thing work?
He he's turned away from you as you're talking to him, and he's kind of has grabbed a handkerchief out of his pocket, and he's kind of polishing it, and he says, "It's green, but it's green and it's so dark it almost looks black. It's beautiful. Excuse me. I apologize.
The mirror.
The mirror. Pardon me. The mirror. All you gotta do is when you're ready to kill that son of a bitch, if you think he's gonna escape, turn the mirror on and make sure his reflection is in the mirror. No mist. No bats.
So we point this at him, and he cannot escape.
Well, he can still run,
I'd like
fly, or whatever he does, but he can't do that. He can't do that thing where you kill him and he just poofs and he's fine. He'll be dead for good.
So he doesn't have to look into the mirror, he just has to be reflected
His
in it?
reflection's gotta be on.
Okay.
That's it.
That doesn't seem too hard.
I've on good authority that it works very well.
Can I ask what authority?
I just got friends in certain places that know a thing or two about that. I'm very well connected, darling.
I hand the mirror to Rodek.
I'll put it in the bag of holding. Well, enjoy the rest of this bottle, and either way, we'll certainly be tracking down Alphonse and ending him. So,
If you get any more information, please, don't let us go in there blind. The more you can give us, the better. You want him dead, and we'll get it done if you provide us the right information.
I do want him dead, and I appreciate that it is individuals that ain't sinners under my heavy thumb that will be assisting me, and I appreciate your service to the grinning sinners and the hungry catfish. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
until next time.
Until next time, and 10% off on table games for the next 5 days. Until Nuit Blanche.
Thank you.
Alright. Well,
Probably
thank
have
you.
to spend all of our gold on healing potions. At least 4 out of the 4 of us are going to die from a Dracula. But thank you.
There are worse ways to die, girl. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
For my sake as well, I hope it don't. But always have a plan B, boys and girls. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Okay, good night. Bye.
Thanks again.
Good night.
Good night.
He grins, he tips his hat to you and opens the door. And as you all leave, the door closes and you hear the footsteps walk back in the direction towards the egg. And you all make your way out of
I want to buy some Wisp Glow before we leave.
Okay.
Like a to-go bottle of Wisp
a to-go bottle. I think, what was it, like, for like a one drink, what the fuck was it? Like, it was like 20 gold, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Some-
it was really expensive. It was like super expensive. We'll say 20 gold.
Get out, that.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like we've made a terrible mistake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
What a sweetie.
I recognize that we didn't have a choice here, but
Are we back in our? Are we walking back?
You're walking back. You've left, and I'll change the music to reflect that. So
I
thank you.
really feel like we have made a horrible mistake.
What? Why? Why do you feel that way?
I don't like the way he was looking at that egg. I don't like what he has planned for the egg, and there is no way in hell we are delivering him the cup.
No, I assumed we were all lying when we said that.
100%.
Okay. I don't like lying, but that guy's a freak.
No, we if we ever get our hands on that cup, we destroy it or somehow return it to that damn demon.
Yeah, we try and give it back to the
The
demon.
demon, yeah.
The devil? Demon?
Whatever the hell
Whatever
it is.
he is, yeah.
I think once we get to it, once Alphonse is dead, we can figure that out.
That is
We
something
could
that is
put Guru in the cup.
no.
No? We
That-
could put Rodek in
This
the
is
cup.
something that is so far beyond
No.
our comprehension.
We what?
We shouldn't be joking about something like this.
I wasn't joking. I don't see why we couldn't put Guru in the cup.
I don't like him.
No, we don't have. We are not using something like that. You saw the creature.
We know nothing about it.
We've used the powers that it gave us. It's clearly evil. That cup should not be on this plane of existence.
No, I agree. I just think if we could put Guru in it before it goes back to its rightful plane of existence, then we'd be killing two birds with one stone.
Look,
Or we'd be feeding two birds with one scone.
I think that he is evil. I do. But I'm with Rodek on this one.
Like
He's not as evil as Alphonse, and we're not using the cup. Until we know more, we don't have reason to just murder Guru for no reason. Right?
That's right. We're not going to kill him just because we think he looked at the egg weird. I mean, I don't know what...
that's not the reason. I thought the reason was the fact that he's doing some strange shit in cemeteries with Baron Samedi, and the fact that he has dolls of people that he's gonna kill if they step a toe out of line, and he's potentially doing all kinds of creepy shit. So I think that then we give him a dragon egg and a soul sucker cup. Now all of a sudden he's got a gang of lollipop heads and ribbits, and now we're fucked.
We're not giving him the cup. That's the bottom line. I'm worried about the egg, but we're not giving him the cup.
If we kill Alphonse and we don't give him anything, whether you want to or not, we're fighting Guru.
Fine.
He's coming after us. So in which case, I say flip the cup.
We're not using it. There's no way I will allow any one of us to use that cup.
Okay, well.
No way.
Well.
Please, tell me I'm not alone in this.
I think we might not even... Let's say we kill Alphonse. We don't even know if at that point that shadow thing shows up at that moment and takes it back. And at that point, it's not even...
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will happily fight Guru if it comes to that, but we are not using that infernal cup. No way.
Well, I mean, maybe we can find a way. I mean, she hasn't been talking to me lately, but maybe we could find a way for Titania to help us. Like, we could find a way to talk to her and maybe say, like, hey, I know that you're, like, an archfey and, like, really beautiful, and devils and demons are, like, totally out of your league, hot stuff, but, like, maybe you could get in touch with this guy and take the cup back. So that's something we could look into.
I think if once we have the cup, if we can figure out some way to contact Titania or Matthias or whatever, and then...
I have my husband, on my hotline bling. Where was that?
Information is good, and I'll welcome it from anywhere. But we're not using. I cannot stress enough that we're not using the cup.
And again, I'm certainly not using the cup, and I don't intend to just hand it over to Guru without knowing more about him.
Yeah, so we're gonna seriously have to think about what we're gonna do about this.
I don't want to give him anything.
Because
I've said this a million times. I don't trust the guy.
Regardless, we made a promise that we were going to give him something. So we either have to figure out what to do about him or figure out a really, really, really convincing fake.
He doesn't know about the cup.
Correct.
But he
doesn't know about it.
It doesn't matter what he knows about the cup. He still wants something that sucks souls. So that's my point.
It died with him. Oh no, it was a stone.
Do you think he's going to accept that? No. He said he wants the recipe, or he wants the... So either way, we have to give him something.
When it comes to it,
right?
When it comes to the full moon, and we can walk through right into his house...
That's assuming we don't die as we cross the threshold.
That's right.
Is house something that's similar to hoose? Because sometimes you call it a hoose, and sometimes you call it a house, and I've just been very confused.
A house is a house.
Okay, so they're the same thing. Perfect, that's all I needed to know.
Is there something that we could give him, like a spell you know of, that would do something, but not what he thinks it'll do?
I mean, I may be a pain in the ass, but I don't have any soul sucker abilities. I mean, if I had one of those, Rodek would have been gone a long time ago.
Maybe something he does, it makes him feel, like, tingly and powerful for a minute, like he has absorbed a soul.
I mean, I have a couple of things that I could try to use, but...
I don't think we're going to trick Guru.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's my concern is...
I really don't.
You know, I may be full of myself, but I don't think that I'm as powerful as he is. He kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Well...
I think he'd put a read on me.
Maybe we could just flee.
Yeah, we could. Honestly, we could. We could just kill Alphonse and then just run.
I think
give him a distraction and, just flee.
At this point, we don't know enough about what's going on to figure out what we're going to do.
Agreed.
Oh,
So,
maybe we should make a pact with Baron Samedi.
Wouldn't that be what Guru would want?
It was a joke.
Oh.
God,
I can't tell when you... Anyway, I just can't... Anyway, let's get back. It's very late. Let's get some rest. In the morning, we can start the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to continue to make more out of place jokes because that's the way I deal with uncomfortable situations.
I've gathered that at this point.
Oh, you did?
Anyway, let's go. We could go back to the boat, right?
Okay.
On the boat.
Yeah, I imagine you'll
Okay.
sleep there.
You make your way to the boat. It's approaching sunrise. As you finally kind of settle in and you all drift off to sleep or settle in, I'll say, whatever you guys want to do before bed. Okay.
I just
sleep, meditating.
Okay. So you all get a long rest, and you wake up to the morning. You get a long rest, and you're all on the boat, convening wherever you'd like to.
Well, I guess we'll meet sort of out on the deck or whatever.
Had a lot of time to think,
All right.
given that we don't sleep.
That's right.
We have 5 days. 5.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't die.
Wait, does that include today? Or 5 days after today?
God
He
of the
said
world.
5. He said 5 or 6. I assume that today's day 1 of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be on the 5th day. So we
Yeah.
have 4 after this.
Yes.
Just that works.
Assuming that we don't die the moment that we step foot on Alphonse's property.
Oh.
Assuming that he doesn't have Solaris murder us the second we breach his house. Assuming that Laudna Gildner doesn't show up, God knows what her part in all of this is.
Right.
And assuming that we can kill Alphonse LeBlanc, we have 4 to 5 days to somehow prepare and get stronger to deal with this threat.
So, I'm gonna burp. But outside of that, I actually had a lot of time to think after all of you guys ran away from me so quickly last night when we got back to the boat. My jokes weren't landing, obviously. But I had a lot of time to think, and I realized a couple of things that we hadn't realized before. And that's, one, now that we have these necklaces, that soul-sucking thing he has around his house will actually work. Never mind, because it's not the full moon. Okay, joke's on me. But number 2 is that we know the name of the succubus, which is actually very powerful. It's like the only thing that I know is that knowing the name of a creature like that is very powerful. I don't know what it'll do for us, but we know her name. Her name's Solaris. We're not supposed to know that. We know it.
How did you find this out?
How do I find what out? That we know her name?
No, that held power.
That's the only. I don't know what kind of power it holds. I just know it holds power.
Do you think
It's
Orpheus
like
might know
that
something
tale of
about that?
Rumpelstiltskin. Like you know his name, and all of a sudden
Could
It's a
could
thing.
Orpheus perhaps shed some light on this?
we can ask.
He might. I mean, he has demon-y background,
I
right?
don't know if it's a demon or a devil.
Or
thing,
devil-y
though.
background, doesn't he? With his horns.
No, he's a tiefling. Not to be confused with a dragonborn. Oh, that was crazy.
That is good news. I am concerned about Laudna.
Me too.
I don't know what her role is in all of this, but
I don't think it's good.
I have a feeling that we're going to meet her in his house.
I agree.
She's somewhere. We haven't seen her in a long time. She's vanished.
Yeah.
But we know she plays some major role in all of this.
Oh, she definitely does. For sure.
Well, we think she does.
No, she totally does. Totes for sure. Yeah. Totes.
Is there anything that we can physically do to be more prepared? I mean, we don't have a lot of time, but something. I mean, besides just information. I don't know if there's a way we can arm ourselves better. If there's a way that we can do something physical to prepare for this.
I mean, we could stock up on health potions. We could. I mean,
If we only had more time.
we could shop around for. We could always put it back to Goldhaven. I mean,
What?
we have a 5th amulet.
So?
I was thinking about asking Emiria.
But then Lumi would not be able to come with us.
I mean, soul. I'm not sure how that works.
Do we have a soul?
I mean, well, it's debatable, honestly. She's kind of an asshole.
Kind of is. I didn't want to say
Whoa,
that.
hey, rein yourself in,
I
Annie.
said I
She's
didn't
my
wanna say
pixie. You can't say that. What would you do if I called somebody you cared about, your stupid rabbits you never get out?
Don't you talk about
They're
butterscotch like that.
Butterscotch, you're an asshole. How do you feel? It's not fun, is it? Shut up. Oh.
She didn't mean it.
Yes, I did. Stupid bunny. I'm gonna kick that bird when we get back to Goalhaven.
Now, I have a feeling that Amelia won't let us go without her. If Hissy is truly in there somewhere.
I agree, which is why I figured it was only right to ask. I'm willing to be open to other suggestions, of course, and there's always the chance that she could decline.
Well, we do know that there's a man with a young girl that comes to the shrine of Saluna every day and pays at least a little into the collection basket. We could perhaps stake it out like we were planning on a week ago.
We've got the time now.
Yeah. That's actually a great idea. You never have those, Rodok, but that's a really good idea.
I try, at least. Perhaps we just talk to Amelia. And
What?
you know, she was doing something. She has more or less the same goal to find Hissy. Perhaps she's learned something.
Of course, we'll fill her in, and maybe she has some information for us.
Is she around? Have we seen her?
You would walk past her room, and she's probably up, like doing her workout regimen in the gym, the ring.
Jazzercising.
Well, let's just let her finish, and we'll talk to her.
Does she always do that in the buff?
She's wearing tight clothes with her. She has fully clothed.
I think you need to get your eyes checked.
Oh, yeah, yep, there they are. That's just, really tight clothes.
She eventually finishes up. She's kind of toweling herself off as she puts it around her neck and walks over to you guys and says, you guys were up late.
Yeah.
Partying a little too hard, given the fucking danger around, huh?
I'll just let her know. I guess just fill her in on the events and ultimately, tell her everything that happened with Guru and Taiki and all of that, and just say, and the bottom line is we have an extra amulet.
I mean, so I'm using that.
That's kind of what we were thinking.
That's
We
the
hoped you
offer. We
would.
figured we'd give you the option.
Or
Yeah.
we figured you wouldn't take no for an answer.
No,
so-
I mean, I appreciate you knowing me so well, Rodek. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Not a chance. I'm here to kill that son of a bitch, so I would prefer to not have my soul ripped out.
Yeah, me too. I actually kind of like you.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone in your group has said to me. So
Yeah, no, probably because, well, Annulin picks on people's best friends, and Rodak is a dwarf, and Avantris is never scared, so.
For what it's worth, I've never said a bad thing about you.
Ha! No, that's actually
fuck you,
true.
Avantris.
That's actually true.
Give her the amulet.
Right now? I mean, we have 5 days. Are you
Yeah.
going to lose it?
No.
Does she look like she would lose something?
Do I look like the kind of person that would lose an entire boat?
Oh!
Ouch! Oh.
I say nothing.
That's wise.
She takes it and she looks at it and says, pretty creepy. Is this what it does? What it says it does?
We don't know. We think
Yeah,
so.
well.
Yeah, this is wear at your own risk.
It's on a crazy guy's word, so.
I mean, you guys.
Not as crazy as Forgus, to be fair, but crazy nonetheless.
Yeah, not that. It's a different kind of crazy.
If there's crazier than Forgus, then I weep for our planet.
Now, just remember, it only works in the full moon. So, we have to all go together in 5
Yeah,
days.
you have to be inside of the full moon. So it's going to require a lot of ladders. I think I've calculated to be about 4 or 5 ladders to get to it.
Well, I'll leave logistics to you guys. That's not my bag. I'll show up and stab people with my swords.
Oh,
Dance
that'd be
around.
wonderful, yeah.
Inspire you guys.
Okay. We should do some research on Draculas. Because I don't really know what they do, aside from the Misty thing. We should If we're gonna fight one, we should know what they do.
We should know it.
We should
That's
go to a
great
library
point.
and figure out Dracula literature. Dracula literature.
Only having spent a little bit of time around
Literacula.
colleges and libraries, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Ogway might not have the greatest library in the world.
Yeah, but Goldhaven probably has a great one.
There are
We
certainly
could.
colleges. I don't know how accessible they'll be.
I could bling to my sister and find out if Orpheus knows much more about Dracula's.
I think we should ask him about the succubus thing as well.
Oh, sure. Would you like to talk to him?
Oh, he's probably going to respond better to you anyway.
Yeah. It's true.
Well, I'm worried about just straight up leaving Ogway for a few days. And at least not keeping an eye on
Well,
it.
my sister could always go and search the libraries and just... they've got a walkie-talkie there, so she could just turn it off and read to us at night about Dracula's.
And I think if we need to go, that's fine. I just mean I want to set the expectation that I'm worried about if we leave our eyes off Guru for a night or two. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, he could hatch that egg. Actually, that was another thing. I think he's going to be really sad to find out that whatever is in that egg is probably not alive anymore. Because it's been in there without water or air or anything. And eggs still need oxygen, to keep the thing alive. And so whatever's in there is probably just a dried up old husk of things. So I hope he really only wants to keep it on his shelf. Because otherwise, he's going to be real mad when he finds out.
Either way, he saw the egg, he asked for it, we gave it to him.
That's true. He didn't ask for the thing inside of it to be alive.
That's right. He did say it was brimming with life.
Well, what does he know?
Well, but I guess I don't really know much about how, I almost said Dracula's, how dragon eggs work, so I guess maybe they don't need oxygen. And it was in a pool of poison when we found it, or maybe many oxygens in there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, hey, perhaps we learning about vampires, trying to learn about this chalice of agony, if there's any way we can.
Would we know, like, a close by, like, knowledge hub, either, like, a college or a major library?
You guys had, I think, asked this question before to a couple people.
I
And Ogway, there might be a small bookstore here and there, like a town library, like very small, but like people generally don't come here for learning. It's for hedonistic pleasures. Yeah, it's for hedonistic pleasures. And so you guys decided probably wouldn't have the depths of knowledge that you guys would need.
I mean, like, outside of the city, though. Will we
outside of
know
the
anywhere in the region?
Well, again, Goldhaven has colleges.
Yeah.
Bardic College.
So Goldhaven would have colleges, and you know that Anzu is up the river, but very, very far. It would take probably weeks to get up there, up the river.
Collectively, what would we already know about vampires?
I think that you guys have a pretty good sense of what vampires
would we know
do.
that? So obviously, we know that sunlight would be an issue for them.
You know that sunlight's
We're
an issue.
familiar with
You know
their
that
charm
they need
now, I
once a
guess.
day, that they can charm, that they can walk on ceilings, that they can explode into turn into a bat. They can turn into the red mist. That they are just generally incredibly powerful. They have a crazy hyper undead healing factor. All the stuff that you basically solve from Taiki is pretty much bread and butter vampire business that you've seen. I don't know what more you guys would
Be able to learn.
What you guys
That's
would
good.
want to learn.
It's good to know.
Weaknesses or anything like that aside from sunlight?
Yeah, I mean, you would have heard a thing of garlic and steaks and things like that, and you're not really salt. You're not really sure whether or not all that's true.
Would we know whether to do damage to them it has to be magical damage? Would silvered weapons be a thing that we would think we should make sure?
You had silvered weapons, and you noticed that it didn't do
Yeah.
anything that it didn't do anything additional beyond your magic weapons. But you're not really sure exactly if there's any particular type of damage. But you know that your magic weapons actually
But would we, like... I'm just trying to glean whether I would tell Amiri if she didn't have silvered weapons to get her silvered between now and then. Would that be something that Sylvie would be like, oh, this is a thing? Or does that even... I don't know enough about vampires.
You would probably know that, like, you would need to make sure she has, like, a way to get magical weapons.
Okay.
That just some run-of-the-mill sword isn't going to do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I would say that with our knowledge of the things that we fought, that a regular old sword ain't gonna cut it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we're still on the boat, right?
Yeah. You're on the deck.
Are you gonna tell me, or should I?
Oh, yes, I tell Amiri that. Sorry, I'm trying to look something up, so...
She looks at you and says, I got magic weapons. Yeah.
Great.
Well, that's great.
Then you're covered there. Did you learn anything last evening when you were looking around?
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I mean, I've been basically just laying low and staking out the city. I heard that they're setting up for some kind of festival. I guess that's what all this is all about. And you look out into the harbor, and there's all sorts of ships coming up the river and all docking, and the harbor is completely full of ships from all sorts of makes and from all sorts of regions, flying all sorts of different colors of different countries and continents and nations. And they're all docking, and just the harbor is completely filled with like just throngs of people disembarking and heading off into the Magnolia Promenade. And she says, yes, Nuit Blanche. I guess there's some big deal around here, local holiday. And really just getting a lay of the town. Learned very quickly to stay away from the Sunsteel Ward. That was a little rough. Saw some big bad dragon folk, and yeah, I don't like the cut of their jibs, so I stayed away from that. The cats are cool. I like them. But really just kind of there's the people, the goons and the gangs seem to be pretty afraid. Things are getting punchy.
Well, thank you, and just keep laying low. Don't get yourself hurt. Don't try to stick your nose in things. We're doing what we can to find Hissy.
No, I mean, you've made it abundantly clear how much of a bad dude this guy is. And if it was enough that, he did what he had to Hissy, he has to be a powerful son of a bitch. So we'll get him, though. We'll get him.
For what it's worth, we may have a lead. We think that there are a couple of figures who resemble the two that we're looking for, Alphonse and potentially Hissy. So we were going to do a stakeout.
Tonight?
If they show up every night like they're supposed to, and allegedly they do, then yes, tonight would be the best opportunity.
Okay, I'll go.
Simply recon. We're going to stay real low, we're going to wait for night, and we're going to see what we can find.
Sounds good. I'll make sure I'm ready. What time are we leaving?
Probably shortly after sundown. We want to get there and get in
Okay.
place. We know roughly where we have to be, so we want to get there and get in place as early as possible.
Let's do a stakeout. I'm ready.
And that's what we learned, right? Is that he comes around like 7 or 8, like.
He comes after into the night. Yeah, probably like approaching 7 or 8.
So if we can get there as the sun is setting, we'll be all right.
Right.
Okay, cool. So I'll be ready. I'll make sure I'll hang out. Where's this place? I can just meet you guys around there.
I don't remember, but
I'll hang out. If it's I'll look around.
It was in the Crawdad Quarter.
I'll ask around and I'll meet you guys there. Wherever, yeah, that's fine. And I'll be there at sunset.
all right. Take care of yourself.
I'll stay safe. Wish me luck.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for this creepy goth kid amulet.
Hey, it's the least we can do.
Okay.
Looks good on you. You make that work.
No, that's awful. That's horrible. And she walks off. I'm gonna get a bait. I'm disgusting. And she walks down below deck. Okay.
So if we're doing a stakeout tonight, we have two options. I think at this point we can go to Gullhaven and try to learn what we can in the libraries. I don't know how long that would take if we get back by sundown. Or we could go to the
You can teleport once a day.
Once a day.
Yes.
Oh shit.
So we have to spend at least 24 hours there.
I mean, I think We kind of know everything there is to know about Dracula's. So.
Agreed. I also don't know, realistically, what kind of access they would give the average Gullhaven citizen to, there are books that you can look at and enjoy, but anything that's a little bit more heavy might be restricted. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, luckily we're the heroes of Gullhaven, so we're not just an average
Of
Gullhaven
course.
citizen, but
I
get
agree.
your point.
I agree. I don't think that... I liked your idea of sending someone in our stead.
Yeah.
Stead.
Steeds are horses.
That's true.
Yeah, but we could send someone in a horse. Like, I heard this story about these people called the Trojans. Maybe those were condoms, I can't remember. Anyway, you put people inside of them. Horses are condoms. That's so strange. I don't remember the story.
We're back to the point where I'm only understanding 1 out of every 10 words that she says.
Well, for me it's far fewer, so you're doing all right. Well then, why don't you talk to your sister?
We need to talk to Orpheus as well.
That's right. Or have Orpheus just
what?
so we can try to learn about liches and see if he knows anything else.
The succubus.
Or the
the
succubus, that's
succubus.
right.
Oh, okay. Well, then I need somebody's Rocky Talkie.
Yeah, I give you.
Okay.
Breaker 19, Sylvie to Slutty Sister number 1. Come in, Slutty Sister number 1. Evangeline, that's you in case you're listening.
Does she have a Rocky Talkie as well?
Yeah, there's a Rocky Talkie we left at the house, and she's keeping it.
Oh, I thought Orpheus was keeping it. Or is that...
I don't remember who
No,
we
Orpheus
gave
was
to.
keeping it.
Yeah.
I thought we gave
I
it to
thought
Orpheus.
Evangeline was keeping it, and
No,
we
but
gave it to
then-
Orpheus.
You guys then gave it to Orpheus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, Roderick has informed me that I'm a fucking idiot, and Slutty Sister should translate into Orpheus. Sorry.
You wait probably like another minute or so, and you hear, well, I guess that Slutty Sister is better than Orpheus. I'll take it.
Oh, Orpheus, is that what Gus has been calling you?
For about 5 minutes, and I got him to change. Don't worry.
What is he calling you now, Orpheus?
Just, you guy. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Master Orpheus.
Anyway, we have some questions. What do you know about... Oh, how are you liking the new digs? The new room? The new, freedom? How are you liking it? Is it fun? Is it good?
I must say, I appreciate it. It's more than I could have asked for being a prisoner, and it's definitely a lot better digs than I gave my prisoners.
Oh, cool. I'm so glad. Now, what do you know about succubuses? Succubi? Succubises? Succubi?
Well, they suck you and then suck your soul.
Oh, they are
That's-
soul suckers. Guys, they're soul suckers. They're soul suckers, guys.
And they're fiends that are of the lower planes that,
Devils or demons?
well, they work for both.
Oh, shit. They work for both, so my confusion will never end.
And why do you ask?
Oh, because that Draculich that we were telling you about has a succubus named Solaris that hangs out with him and does his bidding.
Well, lucky him, I guess.
I know, she's super hot. She's smoking. Orpheus, you would totally want it.
Is she like some hot evil doer assistant?
Yeah.
God, why did I never get one of
I
those?
don't know.
I
you
pull the
should
Rocky
have.
Talkie and I say, settle down, nerd.
So anyway, we were talking about slutty succubi.
Deidre was awful. God,
I know,
I'm
she's
horrible.
so gross.
I made so many
You
mistakes.
did. But we're here to help you rectify those mistakes. Rectify? Orpheus. Anyways, so what more can you tell us about succubus?
Well, that they suck the souls out of, they seduce men or women and suck their souls out when they give you their fatal kiss. It's almost impossible to survive one, and they are usually used to do the bidding of both devils and demons, and they'll work for cheap.
Oh. Well, like what? Would they work, 2 gold?
Well, I mean, it depends on the succubus, I guess, but
What do they normally barter in?
souls, darling.
Oh, so you have to
Devils
give
and
them
demons
souls.
deal in souls.
Oh, well, shit. Okay, what else were we asking?
The name thing.
Oh, yeah, so, the importance of, we know her name. So what does that get us?
Well,
Like a roll in the hay?
I don't know if you get that opportunity, it sounds great. It's one of those ideas that you have and then you need some alone time, and then the clarity after that, you realize it's a horrible idea. I strongly recommend you don't, if you get such an opportunity.
Oh, okay.
But I would guarantee that there's no way that any succubus would let any mortal jack-off like LeBlanc know her real name.
Oh, so you think it's a fake name?
Well, yes, they usually have very fake names. They have a very real name, but the real name does give them power, but it's something that is not spoken lightly.
Oh, so it's like, oh, well, fuck then. I just thought it was like any name. So if her name were like Boo Boo or something like that, and I knew it, then I would, okay. Sorry, guys, I fucked that one up. Other questions?
Well, I guess if we were to know her real name, what would that get us?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure of the actual details, but I know it does give the power. I'm not sure, honestly, the succubuses, succubos? Help me out here. Succubi, fine.
Succubinky.
Whether it's a succubus or an incubus,
What's an incubus?
An incubus is just a male version of a succubus.
Oh my god. Really? Would it wear the same booby outfit that one did?
Probably not that far, actually. But I'm, like I said, I'm not... Devils and demons were never... I know I have horns and a tail, and my eyes are a single color, but I actually didn't study that much.
Oh.
I was more on the whole elemental thing. That was more my bag.
Okay.
But I believe that there's some kind of power to be gained, but don't quote me entirely. I was never a demonologist.
Yeah, me either. Okay, Vandris?
I got nothing else. I appreciate you cooperating.
Rodek?
I haven't heard anything, but I'm sure we got plenty of information.
Okay, cool. Amulin?
What he said.
Thank you, Orpheus. I am so happy that you are enjoying your new digs. I hope that my slutty sister isn't being a nuisance.
No, not at all.
And other than that, peace out or something.
And don't harm Gus.
Oh no, it's fine. He's actually, I'm getting a call that it's lunchtime now, so you guys enjoy your life-threatening peril. I'm gonna have tea sandwiches.
Lovely. Have an extra one for me. Bye.
Oh, I
See
will.
you.
Toodles.
Bye. Well, that was fun. He's like my best friend.
That's alarming.
Why?
I'm
He's
just saying.
very attractive now that his hair is back.
So he looked like he always did.
Yeah. Very attractive.
Well, while we wait for the evening...
What if he's an incubus?
Wouldn't he have just ripped out our souls then? Why deal with all of the elemental chaos thing?
Yeah.
Ugh. You sort of she wouldn't understand.
Yeah, okay. True.
So do we want to go at least by boat? What?
Are you an incubuses?
Me,
You're very attractive.
the half-elf. You think I'm some sort of infernal creature.
Well, Solaris can turn herself into a dragonborn. Why
Aren't you a
couldn't-
high elf?
Yes.
Oh my god, you don't even know what you... Tie him up. He's an incubus.
No, he's
I've been body snatched. The real man just died when Sparkles died.
He was a hag the entire time.
What a twist.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep my eye on you, half-higher.
I suppose it's a nice compliment anyway.
What is?
Saying that I'm very attractive.
Nobody said that.
We can just let it go.
So, what do we do now?
We've got time to kill. Not much, but
This leaves
So
a
who
lot
do
of
we kill?
questions.
That's right.
Well,
Who
no.
do we kill?
No, not yet. Because the thing is, he said that succubi work for devils and demons, but we know that LeBlanc is a Dracula. So why would a succubus be working for Dracula?
I'm just guessing, but I would think that due to the cup, he has a way to pay Solaris in souls.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're a lot smarter than you look, hot stuff.
I am yet again speechless.
Okay.
Why don't we go to the What's the not the Sunsteel Ward? The what's the name of the
one with the
Jade
tabaxis.
one?
Little Yulong?
Little Yulong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I actually wanted to go there because I was thinking about something. When one of you inevitably dies and I cowardly disappear into the distance 500
Inevitably?
feet away from your dead bodies, when I then go back to collect one of you, it would be nice if I could, this is going to sound gross, do something with your body. And that would be to resurrect it. So that way I'm not alone, you know what I mean?
So just so we clarify, if I die and you get my arm, you'll bring me back?
Well, no, I was actually going to bring Annulin back and then just chop your arm off and keep it as a
It's a
token
memento.
of our friendship.
But I have to be dead first.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a memento of your friendship between you.
We can break it in half and she'll get the
Like a
forearm
wishbone.
and I'll get the... If it's a forearm, is this a 2-arm? 4-arm, 2-arm, 4-arm, 3-arm? Whatever.
5-arm?
Oh, weird.
No.
Anyway, you're digressing. My point is, I was hoping we could go to that magic shop and see if they have a spell scroll, and maybe it's probably going to cost us a hefty penny if they do have one.
What does that kind of magic even entail? I can't imagine what it would be like to die and then come back.
Yeah,
Do you
I don't
want to
know.
think about that?
No, I have no intention of dying. Ever.
But if you died, wouldn't you just want to come back?
Of course, but I think there might be implications. I want to know how that works. Look, I told you, I don't like this magic stuff.
Well, so the thing is that I'm a very, 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 very baby in bardic abilities. As you probably know, I mean, my poems are great, but they're not that great.
I think they're lovely.
Thanks! That's really nice, and you're a really good liar.
He's just saying that so you bring him back instead of me.
Oh, I think that's right.
Well, nobody cares what you think, Rodak. Anyways.
How many potions do I have?
Anyway,
I'm going to get
my
potions.
point being that I'm a very, very young bard, and this spell would be incredibly difficult for me to do, but it is doable. I would just, let's say that there was some kind of, like, dice rolling ability you'd have to do, and we'll have to roll pretty high to be able to succeed on it. So we're going to pay a lot of money, and a hit or miss on being able to do it.
Well, again, I mean, God's forbid something horrible happens to one of us. It'd be nice to have some reassurance.
Yeah.
I look at what happened to Matthias and that whole thing we went through with him, and I
Oh,
just
no, you wouldn't be a revenant.
I just want to make sure there isn't any strange.
No, I
deathly connections.
believe I just have to do it within a certain amount of time, and then you would be you, as long as you wanted to be.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So basically the kind of thing that Ganji could do.
I don't even know if, well, yeah, I think Ganji could.
He always talked about it,
Yeah,
he never
but the
used
one
it.
I'm gonna try is significantly more powerful than I think anything he could do, which is why it will be very tough and very expensive.
Well, it certainly
If
doesn't
it
hurt
even exists.
to go talk to them, like you said. This could be what I was talking about. Something we can do physically to prepare for whatever lies ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
I think absolutely, especially without having Ganji or anyone else like that with us. It just in case something would happen. God forbid.
I just want to make sure we learn as much as we can about it. I've heard of this kind of thing, but I've never seen it happen.
Yeah.
You know, outside of the undead we've encountered.
And just in case you need to look it up, I'm looking up. It's Resurrection.
What level spell is
7th
that?
level bard spell.
Okay.
So.
You can do that.
Well, so if it's a spell scroll, I can cast spell scrolls as long as they're on one of my spell lists, and because I'm a bard and a warlock, I can cast it, but I have to roll and hit a certain number. The DC gets higher the higher the spell
What would
is.
the DC be?
So,
Maybe we just let that be a mystery.
yeah, it's gotta be real high. Gotta save that inspiration for it. But they might not even have it because it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Are we gonna raise any eyebrows if we go asking for something like that?
I mean, I think that we probably raise eyebrows anytime we go out in public with Rodic because he smells really bad.
That's true, but that's like
to Sylvie's point, we're not pulling punches now.
No.
Are we
People
on
know
our
who we
way?
are.
I hope we're on our way.
Yeah,
We are.
You're on
We've
your
been
way.
walking.
So you're making your way to the wonders of Sheesh.
As we've discussed, there's no way to disguise who we are at this point, and
I know. Is that kind of a thing taboo? Is it like dark?
I mean, again,
magic,
I don't
it,
know.
I don't know
don't
anything
think-
about this.
Me neither. I agree. I would like to find out more.
It seems unnatural.
Agreed.
My
I'm not saying I
understanding
wouldn't
is
do it if we had to.
holy
but-
types do this thing, right? Like clerics. Like Genji would be one that could probably cast that spell at some point.
They just pray and the gods just defy death.
Right? That's what they do. That's what he prevents you from dying, and if you do die, he can bring you back.
But if we're using a scroll for that, who's bringing you back? Is it a god or is it something else?
At least my knowledge of scrolls is that whoever created this scroll it's their magic that's imbued in the scroll. So just basically someone who was able to do it before is now giving me the ability.
So
to
how do
it
you
now.
know who
We don't.
We don't.
this
It could be someone.
Imbued.
It could be someone as disgusting as Rodak, or someone as amazing and wonderful as me.
I just don't want to. What if we curse poor Vandris when he dies?
Okay, let's
Well, at that
first
point-
get one thing very straight here. I'm not gonna die. Hasn't happened yet, and it's not gonna happen now. And we haven't met anything that we haven't been able to kill. I don't know what we're walking into here, but I'm very confident
Okay.
that whatever we come up against, we're gonna be fine.
I agree. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's good insurance.
Lumi's literally sitting on my shoulder saying, "You are pathetic. You'll never be able to cast that spell, you stupid dumb gnome."
Maybe don't listen. Maybe just shut that out.
Oh God. Oh
Why are
boy.
you best friends with her?
'Cause she's adorable.
She calls you a gnome.
Mean.
What do you mean?
She calls you a gnome.
Yeah, I'm a forest gnome.
This is the first I'm hearing of that.
Oh well.
I thought you were a forest gnome.
Ugh.
Anyways.
So you are walking through the
Please throw us a
Somebody
lifeline
interjects
here.
here.
Just throw us a fucking buoy, Jesus.
you were yeah, wait for you guys. You're walking through Little Yulong. It's been a while kind of since you've been in here. You kind of stopped along one of the shops on toward Little Yulong on the Magnolia Promenade to pick up the urn and other things, but kind of walking through it kind of reminds you just of how district to district how different kind of the local district culture is from the broader culture of Agwe as the sense of the restaurants and the open markets and the street carts and kind of the strange exotic spices. As you make your way through and you see the large jade statues of these strange dog lion creatures on either side, the wonders of Shishi. You see the ribbons kind of hanging down over the door, and you walk in. You see the same heavily guarded shop, tabaxi and hobgoblins standing at attention, and you see the familiar female tabaxi known as Gem from Paul that you had met and you had joined the Shishi, like the premium club or whatever it's called, and you all walk in. You're displaying. I'll say you're displaying your medallions, your premium membership, and as you enter, she welcomes you and says, "Oh, hello. Is there anything that you need assistance with? It's good to see you again."
It's great to see you too. You're looking lovely.
Thank you so much. So are you.
Thank you.
Well, first we were looking for health potions. Do you carry those?
We have many health potions of all varieties.
All right. Well, I can look at those, and then we're also looking for magical spell scrolls too.
Oh, you've seen our scrolls, and hopefully the one I sold you did you very well.
Yeah, I love scrolls. It was awesome.
Good, I am glad. Let me know which scroll you need. As for
Sure.
health potions, and I'll just go through so it's not that metagamey. I assume you want regular potion of superior healing is 450. Greater healing, I believe, is 150.
450 gold.
450 gold.
Yikes.
How much healing is that?
Potion of I don't know how much is superior healing.
I'll look it up.
Potion of greater healing is. What the fuck is this? Potion of healing is 50 gold. Potion of greater healing is 150 gold. Then it's 450 gold for superior healing. and then Supreme Healing is 1,350 gold.
Holy heck.
And you have 25% off though, because you're a member.
Well, we are not as rich as we thought. Heroes for hire indeed.
We should do probably the
Superior, yeah.
superior healing, and maybe do 2 of each. 2 for each of us. It's 1,000 gold apiece. It's 4,000 gold. It's a hefty chunk, but well, it's less than that. I'm just rounding up, and then we have the 25% off, so it's even less than that.
Then let's do 3 apiece.
Whoa, big spender!
Wait, how much healing?
Yeah, do we know? Yeah.
It's 8d4 plus 8. Superior is 10d4 plus 20.
Hold on. The only other thing I would say before we make a purchase like that is, will we have enough if they have the scroll you're looking for?
You guys have like 40,000 gold.
We
don't
don't.
you?
We have 17,000.
Yeah, I actually have no idea.
Oh,
I had no idea how much we had.
Yeah, we have. I will tell you exactly.
17 something.
This includes everything: silver, copper, everything else. We are 17,194 gold.
Pretty more than that?
Nope,
We can
should
talk
not.
offline.
that's exactly how much we have.
We've spent a lot,
We spend a lot.
but I haven't kept track, to be honest with you. 'Cause Nick
Well,
is-
we haven't been because we've been so freaking rich the whole time.
Well,
I mean, that is rich.
I know, but I mean, we've just been kind of like, because we had it, so making it rain up in
I
here.
still think if it's 25% off, let me do some quick head math here. It's 450.
450, yeah.
Quick head math on my phone.
So I just think it might be worth talking about the scroll.
Sure,
before we-
I will ask. Beautiful tabaxi lady whose name I have forgotten because I'm
Gem from
Gem from
Gem
Paul.
from Paul. Gem from
You
Paul.
can call me Gem.
Gem, lovely. That's a beautiful name. Just as beautiful as you are. Do you happen to have? It's a very, very powerful scroll. It's the scroll of resurrection.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
What do you need with such magic?
I told you
The eyebrows.
I will tell you. I have never really had people I care for in my life, and the 3 people that you see in front of me are my best friends and my family. And I want to be prepared should anything ever happen to one of them. So, while we're here and your shop is incredibly wonderful, I would love to give you my patronage and also be able to have some protection at the same time.
The scrolls, you seem very powerful, but the scrolls that we provide are made by someone far very, very, very powerful. Are you sure you can use such a scroll?
I am sure I can use it. I just, it's really whether the fates will allow it to work.
Well, if you allow me to go into the back,
Of course, take your time.
I will tell you exactly how much it costs. Level 7?
I believe so.
Before the discount, 2,560 gold.
Woo! That is actually better than I thought.
Me too.
So,
And she goes behind the counter, or she goes back into a back room. She unlocks the door. There's actually 3 guards standing there by this door, and she's gone for several minutes and then returns, and with a long wooden box with like this cherry finish that's locked and wrapped up very nicely and covered in all these kind of strange symbols, and she places it down on the counter and says, "This is the only one we have."
oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be a really high skill check. But it's doable.
If you were to put it on like a 1 to 20
It's not
odds,
mathematically impossible, is what you're saying.
It would be a 17.
That's not bad.
or higher.
17 or higher.
It's doable. It's very doable.
If it fails, it's just gone forever.
Yeah.
But we also don't have to use components, so part of the cost is obviously the components.
Right.
So
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't put a price on someone's life.
That's right.
I know.
I think we should do it. It would be 1920 gold. 1,920 gold. With a discount.
Okay, I will buy that. You read off exactly to me how much I'm deducting.
So for the scroll, you deduct 1,920 gold.
So 100 platinum would be 1,000 gold, right?
We can say you exchange all your platinum.
Yes.
Or yeah, you
God,
have
I
you
don't
have the
know how
coins.
to
You
do them. Yeah.
Just if you deduct. Oh, will it not let you?
So I would add. So we have 637 platinum. So no, it's fine.
So deduct 100.
100 platinum,
I'm use the rest of all
remove,
these.
Yeah.
and
Then
then
920 gold.
Oh, sorry, buddy. You're good.
or 92 platinum.
Yes.
Okay.
Spell scroll is paid for.
And are we gonna do the 3 health potions?
Well, if you figure out how much it's gonna cost.
So per person, it would be 1,012 gold and 5 silver.
I feel like you should be like
Okay,
laser
so
beams.
that's 4,000 and 12, 4 times and
4,050 gold for everybody.
4,050 gold.
Yep.
It's a retro.
It would. We could do that. We would still be in the double digits, or the we'd be in the 5 digits.
I think for what we're going up against, we need to be as prepared as possible.
You think 3 is necessary? I feel like 2 could be fine.
Let me figure out what that would be.
Oh boy, we're so broke.
Would be
We got
27.
I'll say that
13.
you guys, from what I gave you from like the big bosses, you guys should have over 20,000 gold, including the gems that you have that you would have sold.
Yeah, and we did all of that before when we got up to this.
Yeah,
'cause
we
we
can
were
talk
at almost
offline.
like 19 or something. Is what
We-
we've been
yeah.
at, but
And then plus all this stuff from the previous arc.
yeah.
So I know.
we just haven't been doing anything this arc to
Yeah.
be gaining money, so we've just been spending money.
If you think how many greater healing potions do we have between all of us?
Let me look. So when it comes to healing potions, we are a
Healing.
potion of healing greater. We have 5.
Each?
No, in total. I definitely don't have any, and I believe that you have most of them.
I think we need 3 each.
I have. Hold on. I have 4 potions of greater healing.
I have 5 marked down for all of us.
Like we each have one.
We'll discuss it offline.
We'll talk it offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Yeah.
I say
So
buy
it could
3
be that
each.
Rodek just has 1 and you have the other
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
Because
That's
both
what it is.
Vandris and I
Yeah.
are
I was
out.
gonna
Okay.
say because I track all my items separate.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
track my
I've been
gold,
keeping
but I
track
track
of,
all my
right, I've been
items.
keeping track of everything else anyway.
So 2 or 3 each. I say 3 each.
Okay, fine. You can spend our money. Spend it then.
Okay.
Guys, we're gonna have to get jobs.
Yeah, this being a hero thing sure doesn't pay well. much
So
am I
4,050.
Oh. Oh.
4050.
Okay.
And we give that over.
Okay, so guards come out with these large chests to kind of pour in the piles of gold, which they're surprised there's these massive just piles of gold being put. They're all put on the counter and they're all being counted. And once everything's squared away, she boxes everything up very nicely for you guys and gives you a nice box that's with the same kind of Wonders of Shishi symbol on it. And she says,
So we have 12.
"Is there anything else you need?" Well,
I think that's
I
it.
hope you do not ever have to use these.
Me too.
Seconded.
Have a
What's your
wonderful day.
refund policy?
No refunds.
Okay.
Well, these will come in handy. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your patronage. We hope to see you again soon. And you all make your way out. You're back in Little Yulong, stocking up on some magical items. And what are you guys doing?
Are there any other points of interest in Little Yulong that we would want to stop by?
You remember the tea shop that you went to, the Misty Morning. You remember that there were a few good little restaurants and the like. There's a few shops. The big point of interest was the Wonders of Shishi, if you remember that.
Well, why don't we have a nice cup of tea while we're here? Get some dumplings, perhaps.
Yeah.
Get some elite lunch, and then wait till evening.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, you make your way through the district, and you find that the Misty Morning is there. The older gentleman, the Tabaxi that you saw, that you recognized as Master Leaf from Vine, who's the head of the the Jade Iris was not there. Neither was his nephew. Just some help that he had. You're served some tea and some dumplings and some local, or rather some locally created Yulongese cuisine. And it's a great kind of change of pace from the standard Agwe dishes that you've been eating, and kind of invigorates you after spending all that money. You're kind of like, oh geez, buyer's remorse, but your soul is settled with tea and dumplings. And Lee will just say the whole thing costs all of you, I don't know, 10 silver, and 10 silver or 1 gold piece. And you head out, and as you're making your way back to the Magnolia Promenade, or
yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to personally, basically mosey on towards where we're going to stake out and waste the day. And
right.
If anything piques our interest, then fine. But if not, we'll get to where we got to go.
Okay. So you make your way. Through Little Yulong back to Magnolia Promenade, and let me just switch out here my little business.
Business.
And you are back on the promenade, and you're walking through, and you remember that the streets were sometimes occasionally crowded, but it was very easy to navigate. Now with the just throngs of people, visitors and tourists, getting ready for Nuit Blanche, that the streets are narrow, and you're kind of having to, you occasionally lose each other and need to kind of catch each other again. It is full-blown tourist season, as people are kind of in for the whole week to celebrate Nuit Blanche. And people are excited, all sorts of different races and shapes and colors of people. And you notice that there's this excitement and enthusiasm. You see people are starting to decorate and using a lot of kind of effigies of these bright kind of blues and silvers and to represent the moon, and a lot of just decorations to pay homage to Seluna, but you can tell that people aren't taking it very seriously as far as their reverence. And as you're going around, you see, it's late afternoon at this point, that there's a lot of people that are just kind of passed out, drunk, or just their eyes are kind of bloodshot and red, maybe kind of running around, kind of dispersing the crowd. And you remember the Dune Spice was probably the drug that person was on, and kind of just people just kind of their heads in the clouds. And as you're making your way, you see more and more people kind of slumped up on a barrel or over a crate. You pass by the crate and barrel, and just the line is out the door around the block to get all sorts of booze. And
It really gets me.
you make your way to the large bridge that crosses the river into the Crawdad Quarter, and you see that despite it being not its prime time, the catfish is humming. You do notice that the large heavy doors that are normally fastened up to then lead down into the fighting ring seem to not be there, and you assume it seems to be closed. But the riverboat seems to be just totally hopping with all sorts of people drinking and gambling, not caring about whether the sun is up or down. And so you manage to make your way across the bridge, and you head into the Crawdad Quarter. And you have not been here, I think, since you dealt with Ma Puckett.
That's right.
And let me pull this up. Here we go. So you cross the bridge, and as you're making your way over, the sun is setting low. You see Emiria kind of jog up to you, and she waves you down. She's fully dressed in her leather armors. Both of her scimitars are at her sides. She seems to be ready for combat, and she looks at you and says, "This place is fucking crazy. Was it always like this?"
Oh.
It's been pretty quiet, actually, for the most part.
This is, it seems weird that it's a local festival, but there are ships from all over the world in the harbor.
I heard of it, and I knew it was a big party scene, but I wasn't gonna go all the way to fucking Hogway.
Well, hopefully,
drink and be a degenerate.
Would I know much about it, having grown up in this area?
I would say that you would. You would know that, it's a big... You know that there's a lot of yearly festivals for a lot of different gods and goddesses and the like, but the big one of the winter predominantly is Nuit Blanche. And, you know that Saluna probably has other feast days, but this is the one that has at least resonated with the people of Agwe. And is basically a big yearly pomp and circumstance, and that people kind of come here every year, and it is a big tourist attraction. But it does seem to be a lot more hopping than even you would have expected.
Yeah, basically that.
Well, hopefully the additional crowds makes our ability to lay low while we stake this out, even easier. So.
Yeah, no, I guess so.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to do it. Hopefully, that son of a bitch shows up and I can cut his throat.
No, you're not going to kill him here. You understand?
That thing we gave you, it only works in like 4 days from now. If you get yourself into a situation, it's not going to protect you. I would hate to lose you, Amiria.
Okay. That's fine. Let's hope he doesn't show up then. It'll be fine. Okay. So you see the shrine to Saluna. Very, very simple. Just the eye and the 7 stars and some moon symbolism. And this kind of statue of a maiden in just this kind of grassy patch. That you see that there probably every hour or so a simply dressed priest. You recognize, you talked to like 3 or 4 that one time that we were here. You recognize 1 or 2 as they occasionally come back. They check the alms and they'll collect those that have been given, and they'll put it into their coffer, and they'll just kind of check on it and make their way back to wherever they were. And as night falls, the moon waxing fuller and fuller every night, things start to kind of quiet down. You can kind of hear when the wind shifts and kind of comes across the river. You can hear the jazz music, the brass music coming from the Magnolia Promenade. But otherwise, you just kind of hear the occasional ringing of the bell from the docks. There's the fishermen coming back in with their catch, and you hear the shuffling of the fishermen coming home, the steaming cookpots, and the smells, the rich seasoning and spices, similar to what you've eaten in the Magnolia Promenade, but even more intense, as the kind of drifting of the swamp stench also kind of settles in as you kind of hear the din of the traveling crowds dying a little bit in your district, and once again the bullfrog, the whippoorwill. And you wait. And you wait. And it turns about 9 o'clock. And you see a tall figure walking out from an alley directly beside the shrine. Hooded, holding the hand of a short female figure. Also hooded.
Which direction is he coming from?
He's coming from the direction of the swamp.
From the swamp, okay.
And holding the hands as they walk forward, step up to the shrine. You see a small, pale hand emerge from the feminine body, feminine figure, holding 7 coins. She drops them into the basin for alms. And the taller figure, never letting go of that grip, leans down and gives a little pat as the hand goes away. I need all of you to make perception checks, please.
Oh, fuck.
16.
11. 24.
First dive roll right.
I should roll
Right.
the loony too.
14.
Yeah.
14. The rest of the three of you do not notice as your attention is turned to Emiria, her eyes wide, teeth gritted, tears streaming down her face as she's watching this happen. And you're the only one that's able to keep your attention long enough to notice the hand as it's exposed. It's pale, but you see kind of this bluish, purplish, sickening, horrible, bloated flesh that does not look like the warm flesh of someone who's alive. As it goes back into her cloak.
You said that we noticed Emiria, though?
You guys, or you would have been, the reason why you don't notice this is that she's just distracted. You notice that she is just looking at this intently. Her eyes just with fury.
I give her an elbow and I kind of hiss at her like, get it together.
And I just grab her hands and I just hold them tightly and just try to
Make a
calm her.
persuasion check with advantage because Avantris is helping you.
Persuasion. 24.
24. You can kind of see that she's kind of half. She's kind of almost like in a sprinting position, like she's a bit ready to lunge off, and she's totally tense. Her hands are on the hilts of her swords, and as you know, she notices you, Vandus, and she feels the kind of grip of your hand, Sylvie. She puts her feet back down and relaxes. And as this is happening,
my mouth would just kind of gape open, and I would put my hand on Vandris' shoulder and just sort of like look again, like something's not right. Squeeze, like I not verbally, but just
yeah,
tense.
yeah, okay. And so as you do that, you see them start to leave, and you see a priest. This one was unfamiliar to you. Seems to be a gnome, an older female gnome, a forest gnome, with kind of simple light gray robes, and she she kind of smiles up warmly to the gentleman and waves at the hooded girl. Although the hood is very down low, and she seems to be looking down straight at the ground. And the taller figure gestures to the alms, and the figure seems very appreciative and shakes his hand, and you see the figure lean down next to the ear, or next to the head of this figure, and there seems to be some surprise and a nod, and you see him pull out a letter, folded envelope, and hand it to her. And kind of his head his head kind of leans over his shoulder, and then leans back down. And then
we're not close enough to hear anything, are we?
You guys are far away.
But we see this happening?
You see that happening.
Okay.
And you see that the letter is
far away
is
from
lit
them?
with a silver piece. I would probably say, 150 feet. A silver piece is in her hand, and another kind of gesture of thanks. And the taller figure grabs the hand of the smaller one, and they walk off.
What kind of cover do we have, along the roads, or is it pretty barren and dusty dirt roads, or is it there's vegetation?
So you're into the swamp, but you remember it's kind of built on half of these wooden planks going out into the swamp. So it's all kind of raised, and it's all building and crates and the like, and barrels and that kind of thing. It's not like it's densely wooded. Further out into the town, that's kind of where the bayou's really creeping in. But you're kind of right over the bridge.
I guess what I'm trying to think is if they start to walk away, do I see that there'd be any way that I can skulk along and try to follow them, or is it wide open and they're gonna see anybody who's walking down the road? You know what I mean?
I would say that it's dark, and it's, if you wanted to try to dart between things, but it's not there's just bushes where you can just creep through.
Right.
I guess if that's
Yes,
your
no,
question.
that's exactly my question.
Yeah.
So I would whisper to as they're walking, follow them.
That's what I was thinking.
And I'm gonna try to wait until they're further enough away and dart to the girl that he gave the letter to, the Forest Gnome.
The Forest Gnome?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you do that, and so stealth checks.
Yeah, I just want to slink away.
Okay.
I would go with you.
So he's turning the corner.
Wow. Oh, ooh, I thought that was a 5. 28.
28? Okay.
17.
17? Okay. Roderick, what are you doing?
I am going to, seeing them kind of go off, I want to stay back, but make sure that I'm like trying to keep my eyes on everybody to see where we're going. They'd be not too far behind them, but like way far behind them, but still within like vision so that I can follow behind.
Okay. So you make a stealth check, please. Disadvantage, right? Or no, your boots.
No.
So.
Still not great. 10.
So, both of you, he's kind of left, and you are kind of running up. You're going slowly, and he has just darted. He is left behind the alleyway and has been out of sight for a bit. And you are making your way, darting through. Sylvie, you run up to this gnome.
Just one second.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my hat of disguise to make myself look exactly like what the smaller girl looked like, with the hood all the way down. I'm going to do that first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go up to her. Just tell me what's happening.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I was excited. Tell me what's happening.
So you walk up to her. You walk up to her, and you're in the hood. You're keeping your hood down, fully robed. As you do that, she turns and looks at. Oh, my goodness! You gave me a startle.
I cast Charm Monster on her.
Okay.
So it is a Wisdom saving throw against a 19, and I'm not fighting her, so it's not a
she
advantage.
fails.
And I'm gonna look at her, and I'm gonna do my best to kind of change my voice. I need the letter back.
Well, your father said it wasn't for you, and that was for her friends. But sure.
Thank you so much.
And then I'm going to take
welcome.
a couple of gold pieces and I'm going to put it in the thing.
May Saluna bless you.
May Saluna bless you.
Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Goodbye.
And I'm going
Goodbye.
to shrink back into the shadows.
You slink back into the shadows.
I thought we were breaking into a church there.
Vanders Annual, you run and you're darting back and forth. You're trying to be stealthy as you can. You zip around a corner, and the alley that they turn down is empty. I need both of you to make perception checks.
When I notice this as we're rolling, I'm gonna turn to her and say, "The goal is to see that they go to his mansion, and that's it. As soon as we find them or we lose them, we're out." I'm actually going to use a lucky die.
Okay.
Yeah! I got a 23.
It's a little better. I got a 10.
23. Vanders, you don't see anything. You're kind of looking down at the ground. Annulin, there is kind of a shift in the wind as you look up for a second, and in the sky, flying, you see two figures in the sky heading in the direction back towards the north of town. Just for a moment before they kind of disappear into the dark of the night.
Are they like human figure size?
It's a larger humanoid and a smaller humanoid figure.
Flying. Jesus Christ.
So I would tug on Vanders and point, keeping silent.
I would say that you could kind of see a shift in shadow, but Annulin would be able to tell you.
Which direction did you say?
You're heading back kind of north toward the north side of the Magnolia Promenade. You do know that Alphonse's manor is on the very, very far north of the Magnolia Promenade.
I'm not going after them. It's not wise.
I don't think we could follow him if we wanted to, but
He would know.
we know which direction they're going.
All right, let's just.
Didn't see what I saw. It's gotta be her.
What do you mean?
Her skin wasn't right. It was blue. What did you say? Blue and
It was, like,
bloated
blue.
and
It wasn't like completely grotesque, but it definitely did not look natural.
yeah.
So you're saying that the thing that was with is not alive?
I don't know if it's hissy the way that you want it to be hissy, but what I saw is.
Did you see her face?
Good. Just her hand, right? I just saw a hand.
Well, then we don't know until we know. But we'll return and we'll let the rest of the team know.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sylvie, as you are away, going back, Rodek and Amiri are kind of in wait. I assume you're going back to them once you get the letter. Okay. As soon as the priestess of Saloon is kind of looking around, and just kind of walks back off, and she scoops up the coins again and puts them in her pouch and doesn't even seem to notice. Her mind is so screwed by magic, and she walks away. As you kind of hold the envelope, you see the wax seal of this serpent eating its tail, the sigil of Alphonse LeBlanc. You flip the letter over. On the front it says, "The Heroes of Gullhaven."
Oh, did we just get next leveled so hard?
I'm gonna wait until I get with the group before I show them. So are we together?
Well, whenever we return. We're just making our way back.
I'll say that you eventually, you wait a bit, and Annulin and Vandris make their way back.
Well, Annulin, do you want to tell them what you saw?
I don't know if you saw it, but when she stuck her hand out, if something wasn't right, it was unnatural.
What do you mean? Like she had 4 fingers instead of 5?
More like she was bloated and
Ew, bloaty,
discolored.
gross. No, won't do it.
So you're saying that even if it is hissy, she's clearly dead.
But to be fair,
And we followed them, and they flew. I mean, they flew away.
we didn't see either of their faces.
Oh, okay. Well, so I have news. Rodek did nothing per huge. But I, however, I got that letter that she gave the priestess.
How'd you manage that?
Like this.
And I use my hat again to turn myself into what she looked like.
And so I just went up
Good.
and
Amiria's like, please don't do that.
And I cast. Oh, sorry.
And then I go back to my normal.
And so I cast a spell on her, and I asked her to give it to me, and she did. And she said, "Well, something about your father." And
What was the exact thing that she said again?
That your father said it wasn't for you. It was for your friends.
yeah, so she said your father said it wasn't for you, it's for your friends. So he's like pretending like whoever that was is his daughter, which is kind of creepy, gross, ew.
Did he see us?
No, I think the idea was that they're gonna deliver the letter to us.
Oh.
That's probably how he gets letters delivered to us, especially during the day. That's kind of my guess. Because this, it's the symbol, and it says "To the Heroes of Gullhaven." Oh! What if this is a forgery?
And I open it, and I go to read it.
You open it, it's the same poof of glitter and
It's
magic.
not.
As the letter opens, and you are able to unfold it, and it says, "Friends, I'm glad you joined me for dinner, but it seems as if you've fed the cancer of my city. I suggest you look and see what's brewing in the belly of that riverboat. In all cases but mine, you make a deal with the devil gets its due. Farewell, Alphonse."
So, he knows that we made a deal with Guru.
How does he know that? Is he scrying on us?
I mean, it's very possible.
How would we know? Could we know if he was?
I mean, he knows. He also has to know that we know what we're dealing with. In the belly of the boat, I saw it. He allowed me to see that.
That's true.
He knows we know. He's toying with us.
How does he know?
He's just multiple steps ahead of us. He's prepared. God knows how long he's been alive.
So does he know we have these amulets then? Are they even going to work at this point?
I don't think it would be good for Guru to just set us up to get murdered like that. Clearly it's in his best interest to get us in the mansion. So we have to trust the amulets will work.
What is this thing he mentions? Read the part about the belly of the beast. The belly of the...
Catfish.
Belly of the
catfish.
river.
The belly of the riverboat that we shouldn't expect there. I don't think he knows that Avantris has already been in there and he's seen the roulette game. I think he's alluding to the fact that at least in my interpretation, is he's alluding to the fact that both of them have aligned with some kind of devil.
I'm telling you what I saw down there was not natural. It was wrong. It didn't feel right, and it was... I don't know what was going on.
I wonder, is there something else he wants us to see?
Look, at the end of the day, I don't trust him. He's the one that turned Tyche.
He could be setting us up.
I feel helpless. I mean, if he knows everything we do, what could we possibly do against him?
I don't know.
We haven't been to his mansion, right?
No.
Maybe we should not get close, but just see like where they're heading. We know that that's the general direction that they flew off to. I'm not saying I don't want to get close. I don't want, to happen to us what happened to the Bullywug.
So just based on the experience that I had trying to find entryway into his mansion in Gullhaven, the thing was entirely boarded up. Not a single crack in the entire area. And I took the liberty of flying around and looking before we ever knew. He probably knows. He's probably well aware of what I can do and the abilities that we have. And I can't imagine that there would be any vulnerabilities besides kicking in the front door. And we're not doing that tonight.
Do you believe what I told you I saw? Do you believe that that's Hissy?
I believe you saw what you saw, and I believe that there's a reason Alphonse used that particular language in referring to that hooded figure's friends. Until I see her, and I see her face, I'm not going to make assumptions.
I knew that was Hissy.
And I think that
was her.
I believe you. I believe that is right. But
I saw her die, and that was her.
I'm not going to make assumptions. And look, Alphonse has been toying with us since day one. We just need to be sure. That's all.
How do you know it's Hissy?
I would know Hissy, even under a robe. That was her. And Annulin's right. There's no way. There's no way she could have still been alive and not whatever he did to her.
Sylvie, could you make yourself look like one of the priestesses?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're short like me.
Would you believe Sylvie? If she was up close and she saw her?
Listen, you're misunderstanding.
face?
I'm not saying I don't believe any of you. I'm just saying we need positive identification
Well, I think
proof.
what she's
That's all.
saying is if we come back tomorrow night and I meet them in the robes of Saluna.
If there's any sort of secret passphrase or any sort of secret identification or you'll be found out immediately and probably killed on the spot.
Nothing can kill me. I'm never scared.
I like your attitude.
Except for that one thing that will eventually kill me.
Oh.
Well, everyone dies.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean.
It's just that I feel like this is enough to act on. I mean, your partner here is telling you that that's her, and
Act on
I'm
what?
telling you what I saw, and you're not willing to act on it.
Act on what? We can do nothing. Our hands are tied.
How?
Until the full moon, we can do
Until
nothing.
the full moon, but we can. I don't know.
The plan
we
is the
should
plan.
Recon. We should do something.
And we will continue to. We're not changing course. We are moving forward. But assuming or knowing that that's Hissy changes nothing. We're doing what we need to do regardless.
He needs to die regardless.
Agreed. And he will. And he'll pay. and we will avenge our friends. And we'll make sure that this never happens again.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I can find anywhere near us the sensor of a scrying spell? Being able to cast it myself, I would know that if a scrying spell were happening to us, there would be one around.
Yeah. Perception check.
No shit.
You look around and you kind of are lifting over the lids on crates and barrels and kind of moving,
I'm
like picking
walking
up piles of
Annulin's
ropes.
legs.
Yeah, and you don't find anything.
Interesting.
I can't stop thinking about the part in the letter that said, in all cases but mine, if you make a deal with the devil gets his due.
He thinks he's untouchable.
But he's implying that Guru is
The devil.
also a devil.
Well, what we saw.
Oh, wow, that's exactly what that meant. I thought it meant that Guru made a deal with the devil. Ooh, that's even worse. No, don't like it, not touching it, nope.
And we've made a deal with him.
Oh my god, we have.
So he might be trying to screw with our heads. It's true.
I believe. Look, if we're
Should we
taking a logical, just looking at it approach and not getting too deep on this, he's probably messing with us. Now, even though I told you I didn't feel right. After we talked to Guru, I feel like we made a horrible mistake. But I'm not willing to go so far as to just immediately say that man is a devil.
You know,
He could be making his own deals with devils, and we may be getting ourselves roped into an awful thing. But let's not jump to conclusions.
I mean, do we try to see what Alphonse is alluding to? What happens at night when there's not a meeting that happens? Or I guess we know that they have those fighting rings down there, but...
Well, when I went down there, it was not a fighting ring. It was closed off. I mean, we've been over this, but...
I have an idea.
Sure.
So, we can't speak Bullywug, but I can speak any language if I want to, with magic. So, what if I disguise myself as a Bullywug, and I tell them that there's a change of shift, and I'm taking over the spot in Bullywug, and then I let you guys in?
Again, I think that's... I think it's a good idea. We have to be careful about any kind of secret knowledge that these creatures might have with Guru, and the knowledge that he may have of them to identify face. I mean, the man knew we were scrying on him. I think we just have to be careful is all. We just have to make sure we're covering our bases and we're not rushing into anything. That's all.
Yeah.
Because one wrong move at this point and we all may be dead.
Okay.
It's worth a try. I mean, we need to do something. I agree with Annulin. We need to do something. And I think being proactive is fine. But the other thing, too, is getting in and out of that basement is not good. It was...
Yeah.
It was very open. And if it hadn't been for that potion that Alphonse gave us, there was no easy way in or out.
Do we know? Because I know that it was closed for the meeting, but it is normally open at night for the bully.
It's normally open 24/7. Yeah, Kate was closed for the meeting, but it's open. It's a big fight ring that they repurposed the fight ring for their meeting space.
Oh, so never mind. Then I'm just an idiot. I'm a dumb head.
No, I think that there's probably something there, whether it's hidden with magic, and it's sitting right in front of everyone. I mean, the way he transformed that room, unless you were there, it was unbelievable.
Well, I mean, if it's some kind of an illusion, we can just look for it. I mean, the fact that we know what it's supposed to look like, well, it should make it easier.
That's true.
Well, do you want to go?
I mean,
We could put Rodic in the fighting rink, and then if he dies, all of our troubles are gone.
Guru knows that we would come back and gamble. I mean, it doesn't hurt to just...
He did give us % off.
He did. And so why don't we just go back, act like we're gambling, we're checking things out, we're watching some bullywugs kill each other for sport, but we just casually look around.
Morally neither here nor there.
Yeah, right. Totally fine morally.
It is something that does pique my interest. No, I'm kidding. Fine. I mean, it doesn't hurt to, like you said, just visit the casino.
Right. And
It's not out of the ordinary.
Right. And before we do anything crass or anything that could potentially alert Guru to our presence. Just we be ourselves. We look around. The whole while we're just pretending to enjoy ourselves.
All right.
Okay.
As you're doing that, I need all of you to make a perception check, please.
My perception has not been on point tonight. Oh, another 10, baby.
22.
6.
Yikes.
6.
18.
Okay.
Not us.
Rodek, you notice as you guys are making your way, and Emiria stands up. I guess I'll tell you after Emiria stands up, and she says, "Well, you guys do what you have to do. I'm gonna go lay down.
All right, please.
You
Don't do
stay
anything
alive.
else.
I won't.
Please be safe.
I'm
gonna grab her hand really quickly, and I'm gonna say,
You don't do anything stupid. I know that she was important to you, and that you may not think that anyone else is important. And no one may be. She may be the only important person in your life. But you are important to me. And if you don't want me to feel even an inkling of what you're feeling about her, don't you dare get yourself killed. Do you understand me? I made you that flag, the bitch that floats, for a reason. It's awful.
She looks at you and says, "You don't do the same with that voodoo man.
We'll be very careful.
See you guys.
Be safe."
Night.
Bye." And she is walked off, and you guys are basically debating for a bit. And then Rodek, you notice a low, kind of hushed voices and a kind of grinding sound. There's a voice kind of like.
I immediately cast tongues on myself.
You
don't hear it.
Oh shit! God damn it!
What were you gonna cast?
Tongues. It's the thing I cast on him when he went down to the camp
said
to be able to
tongues.
hear everything.
What is the grinding voice sound like?
It's not a voice. It sounds like the grinding, scraping. You remember that kind of the scraping of like wood along scraping of like wood, and there'd be a occasional clatter of wood being dragged along wood.
I want to look around for like a sled. 2 bullywugs pulling a sled.
You look around and you see
Subtly, not
from
like...
an alleyway, kind of turning a corner, very kind of last bit of 2 shapes in dark clothes and a wooden sled being pulled, a wrapped figure being pulled deeper in.
Follow me.
Why?
Follow me now.
Why?
And I wanna basically start going in that direction.
Yeah.
And then
Natural 20 pickle.
are we stealthing?
Okay.
Are we doing-
Stealth, yeah, go stealth.
I am.
Jesus Christ, is that even a question? 29.
24.
29, 24,
23.
23.
6.
Oh,
Okay, follow me. Clang, clang.
Inspiration?
So,
I don't have inspiration.
do
Do
you
I?
use it?
I don't think I've used it yet. Have
Then
I?
you have inspiration still.
Then use it.
I'm gonna use it.
Hey! there we
22.
go.
Okay, you guys melt into the night.
Yes.
As you start to make your way, it's a lot less intimidating.
The picture I
Following-
gave you didn't.
Hey guys, wait for me!
It's way less intimidating trailing bullywugs than it is trailing a potential vampire lich. As you do that, and
So while we're doing that, I want to say, straight ahead, just keep an eye out. There are 2 bullywugs pulling a sled. Some kind of corpse on top.
If they attack us,
I don't think they will, but just
all right.
Wait, what did you say?
bullywugs pulling a sled.
Oh,
So if you can understand them and try to hear what they're saying.
yeah. I'm just really dumb and I always have forgotten that I have this spell.
So I guess you try to trail and try to see what they're doing.
okay.
And I'm gonna cast tongues on myself. So for the next hour,
Oh,
it's not that I can read any language, which is what I thought that it's been doing and why I ignore it. But I can understand and speak any language that is spoken. I'll read it to you if you need.
no, it's fine. That's fine. And so it is a language. It is bullywug. So as you guys are trailing, you see that they're heading in the direction that you kind of guess is Ma Puckett's place, the Glowbug Junction. As Sylvie, as you're kind of trailing them for probably about 10 minutes, They aren't talking much, but occasionally they'll kind of like,
Well, this is awful. It's been all day. Oh yeah, and there's at least 5 more tonight. And, there's no way we're not gonna get caught at this point. And people are gonna start noticing.
and they're like, yeah, and then it's like, well,
That's not our job. We just collect them and feed the gators. Yeah, the gators are gonna. I don't even think the gators are gonna be able to eat this many.
and they kind of continue on. They're saying that occasionally as they go.
I guess we'll just keep trailing behind.
Okay. So as you make your way, you see the Glowbug Junction, and you see one of the bugbears kind of look and scratch the back of his head, like exasperated and like, well, shucks, I don't think we're gonna have to pile up. It's gonna stink to high heaven and hell with these bodies. I don't know if the gators can keep up. How many more? And the boy goes, and you can hear him say, "Is like, you're stupid and I hate you and you've got an ugly face." And then the bugbear's like, I can't understand that.
They've been mouthing off to us this whole time.
Oh man.
And he's like, and then the other one's like, and then they turn and he's like, oh, fine. And then he takes it and he kind of gestures that more will be coming. Like, oh, more will be coming? Oh, golly.
If we catch him on the way back, we can figure out where the source of these bodies is coming from.
We have to follow them if they're collecting more.
Just let him walk and we'll keep following.
Okay. You follow them. And they don't really talk much. It's like,
Oh, when I get off, I'm gonna eat a whole shoe fly pie with literal shoe flies because of our frogs.
Bravo!
thank you.
Verbatim, that's what they said.
And they make their way out of the crawdad quarter, and you guys are just still stealthing behind them. And then it says,
Oh, I think the next one is just around the block here.
and they eventually make your way into we'll just keep this music. You eventually make your way into Magnolia Promenade, like right on the cusp, right by the bridge, and there is some old tavern there, and you see they enter with the sled, and you see that the barkeep kind of looks at them and points upstairs, and they're like, oh, stairs, I hate stairs, and they lug the whole the sled as you go up this rickety wooden staircase upstairs. And I'll say you're able to make your way. I mean, you're not really invisible, but I'll say you're able to just kind of enter. Are you gonna follow them up there?
I was actually thinking I was gonna wait until they retrieve the next body and then try to go in.
I was gonna stop and say, I don't think you should go in, but Sylvie, could you make yourself invisible and fly up and look in?
No.
Oh, you can?
No.
Oh, well, could you at least maybe fly up as stealthily as you can?
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm a warlock, so I can only do, 2 things.
Oh,
And
you've
I've done
done 2 things?
Mm-hmm.
What have you done besides...
I charmed somebody and...
I would say charm. You've gotten a short
charmed.
rest. You've gotten a short rest.
Oh, okay. Well then, yes, I will do that then.
Okay. So you.
I'll invisible,
you
and then
invisible.
I will
Roll
use my
advantage, stealth
broom
advantage.
and fly up. Another natural 20 and
Oh,
a natural
wow.
1 at the same time.
Wow.
Whoa.
Good old advantage.
So 23.
23. Okay. So as you make your way upstairs, flying very gently behind them, they open the door and go,
Oh, this stinks. Ugh.
and they go inside and you follow in. There is a person, very skinny, patchy beard human man, kind of eyes staring up at the ceiling, foam and vomit on his mouth and all over his person. dead as a doornail. You can see that there are empty bottles all over the room, and boxes and boxes. You kind of get the whiff, and it reminds you of the serpent's breath that Leon would smoke, and was also served here. And
Well, I hate the serpent's breath ones.
and then they roll him up, clean him up the best they can, and tie him to the sled and start pulling him in the other direction.
Is that the only body?
Yep.
Okay.
They drag it down. Sylvie follows behind. They leave the place and they head back into the crowd quarter, and they start dragging it back across.
Let's go.
Go where?
Let's not follow them anymore.
What should we do then?
Go somewhere to talk. I have a really big fear.
Do we need to stay within eyesight of this house?
No?
Are you sure? I mean, do we need to go in there?
Oh, you don't want to go in there.
All right.
Wait, I think, are you saying we've learned everything we can?
I believe so. And I have a very big hunch. But
And
it's a hunch for lunch. That's not really a saying. Just rhymed.
Well, let's see if there's a dark area that we can kind of go off into and talk without going too far. Like,
okay.
you know, I don't want to go all the way back. I just want to
Yeah.
duck off.
So as you all leave and they head back into the crawdad corridor, make your way. And all of you make another perception check, please.
Come on, one good perception roll. Come on. Damn it, 15.
20.
15.
20, Annual, you notice. As you're making your way, you hear the scraping of wood and voices elsewhere. As a different group, different pair of bullywugs seems to be heading in the direction of the crawdad quarter as well. As you dart off into a dark alley where no one seems to be.
So my ears would perk up, and
Yeah.
do you hear that?
What?
I hear it again.
Hear what again?
The scraping.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that there are many other ones. Can we just get into the forest so I can tell you what I think?
I'm going to the forest. Let's just, this
Well,
alleyway.
just go somewhere.
Yeah, this alleyway.
So, do you remember how we were walking through town and there were significantly more people drunk? Like, belligerently drunk?
Aye?
Yeah.
Puked on themselves, kind of, what if the booze or the drugs that they're getting are tainted? Because the person that I saw up there had vomit all over them, like they died of, like, an overdose or something.
I mean, isn't that just normal of people who abuse this kind of thing?
And to this
Why
high
is it
degree?
so ramped up all of a sudden?
That's why I think there's something going on with, like, the Dune Spice or something.
Do we have, when when Annual did the drugs the first time, did it have branding?
watching.
Yeah.
Did it have like Guru
It was
branding
all.
on
It
it?
was all. I mean, you learned that he got his stuff imported from the gangs, right? The gangs just.
They all come from somewhere
They all,
different.
they
right?
all came from. It all was
Yes.
imported, and
But they told it. We knew, or we learned which one came from which place. Right?
yes. So you knew that the Serpent's Breath was imported from Yulong and distributed by the Jade Iris.
Not what I expected.
Or no. Dune Spice is no. Dune Spice. Serpent's Breath was Yulong and the Jade Iris. Dune Spice was the Caravan distributed that, and then the Wisp Glow was actually made by the Bushwhackers. Ma Puckett, you saw her making a big old batch.
I believe.
So how many corpses were up there?
Just the one.
Wait, but they said they had. So
That's because it's people in all of these houses. They're
coming from all
what,
over.
What Annulin said about hearing another one, it means that Guru has bullywugs all over this area, potentially all over Aquay, going into these houses and collecting people who are dying from something they're probably consuming because they've thrown up all over themselves before death.
Or they're just overdosing on these drugs.
Yeah. But why in such high numbers?
And is this
now-
the cancer that Alphonse has been talking about? That we are apparently feeding?
is it the only one? Is it only one of the drugs, or is it all? Is it all of the?
I don't know.
I think we need to go into the riverboat and see. Just take a look for ourselves. Because if we're helping, if we're aiding this process, we need to take a step back and figure out what the hell we're doing.
We have 4 days after tonight.
That's
So
right.
we have to kill a Dracula.
So that's why we need to go tonight. Let's not waste time.
I agree.
I'm just
Fine.
saying, we don't have the time between now and the death of a Dracula to be trying to the death of a devil.
We need to figure out what the hell Guru's doing on top of all this Alphonse business. So we're going in, we're just enjoying the time, we'll gamble, we'll bet on a fight or two, and we're going to look around.
All right.
Very nonchalant.
Okay.
We do that.
So you do that. And I will say, just from the conversation with Alphonse, you would remember that he told you that more people are dying of drug overdoses, alcohol,
Right.
as well as killing themselves from gambling and spurned hearts from and
Right.
women.
Right.
That kind of thing. It just seems to be a more and more commonplace thing, is what Alphonse told you. So
That's the kind of the cancer that he's referring to.
yes. So you all make your way to the riverboat. It is hopping, booming, people all around. You see people gambling. You see the cocktail waitresses that are humanoid. They're the only bullywug employees. The only employees that are not bullywugs. As you see them, all of these like kind of older men of varying races, kind of being convinced to like put way more, just go all in and just bet and bet and bet. You see people just lose huge, and you see some people kind of hanging over the side, puking into the river. As everyone is just having a wild time. You see a young wood elf woman that is an Annulin going, "Ah!" with red eyes, just sprinting along the deck.
Carry the dwarf.
Been there, friend.
There's a dwarf running away from her sugar daddy. She's running away. He's running away. And as you make your way up onto the main deck, you remember the two pathways down into the fight ring, sealed, heavily guarded on all sides by bullywugs, and in a similar way that you had seen during the meeting. And it said, fight ring closed until further notice.
I knew it.
Something's going on down there.
Do we have any Alphonse potions left?
None.
No?
Not a single one.
I guess we haven't heard from anybody, but they're probably doing another meeting. And there's no way in. There's no way in unless we force our way in.
And we can't do that. Not now.
What if you, like, polymorphed into an ant? Like something so small I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. I technically could. But what am I gonna do?
Just look and
I'm like the literal worst at relaying information.
so maybe polymorph someone else.
Oh, that bullywug? Okay.
No, not him!
Oh, okay. I'll stop.
Just someone else.
Do you want to be a giraffe?
No! What? No!
Oh, I thought that's what this was.
No, I was just pointing nonchalantly to someone.
Do we know that there are no other ways in?
What do you mean?
Would I recall, besides the ramps down
You remember
in there,
that there were ramps down, there were also small portholes along the sides. That weren't kind of towards the middle, but towards the back. There were number ones as it kind of rose up. You remember that it kind of curved
not
down.
sealed.
And they were kind of covered in glass, but you had got the sense that they might be able to be open, but...
So too small for a human.
No, I would say that they're large enough. It's a massive riverboat. Like, completely absurdly huge. Like, it's a fantasy world, massive riverboat.
Okay. I tell them, but there's no way one of those will be opened
Oh!
without anyone knowing.
I could use seeming to make us all look like bullywugs.
Is it going to be weird if 4 bullywugs show up late to the meeting?
Well, maybe we're, the shift change.
We could bring drinks or something.
Can you use seeming to make us something smaller that can fly around?
Even
Like
still,
a fly?
Well, I think it just makes us look like something. It doesn't give us the ability to utilize their things. I'm not polymorphing all of us into
Right.
bullywugs. I'm just making us look like bullywugs.
How many of us can you polymorph?
One.
Well,
I don't think I've got anything in my bag of tricks.
Just the one. I can dimension door, but then that could fuck me real hard. Yep, that's what I've got.
Does the ramp lead down? So the ramp leads down to the next floor, right?
It leads to the hole, which you know is like a large fighting ring.
Guys,
Below the floor that we're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
are there?
How close are the bullywugs guarding the door to the bullywugs that are guarding the entrance to the riverboat? Or to the underground portion?
What door?
So there's like the door to the like the entrance to the riverboat.
Yeah,
that you
there's
go
just a
out.
post, probably a good, like, I don't know.
Like if
60
people
feet?
started freaking
A
out
good 60 feet,
near
yeah.
where the bullywugs are guarding the roulette area, the fighting ring,
Yeah.
would they be notified?
I would say it'd be very apparent. There's a
What
whole
if-
bunch of open bars and gambling tables.
What if I change the appearance of the bullywugs that are guarding it into humans? And then we just started yelling, we just started randomly making bullywug sounds to alert the other ones. They get the attention. They would swoop in because all of a sudden there are no bullywugs guarding the area. They're gonna want to protect it. Annulin can cast that thing that shrouds us, and we could sneak in.
But,
That would be an amazing diversion.
but the point is, if we alert anyone, Guru will know something is up. They were turned into humans. Well, who did it? Wasn't Alphonse? No way. He would know it was us.
Wouldn't know that.
He wouldn't know that.
He wouldn't know that. Well, there's no good option then.
I agree.
So I say that we just don't care about it, because you're providing no value, and we
I
just
can't
go
do much.
home. Well, then I think we should kick you out of the group.
What I'm saying is, if you can rest to your full strength, you could polymorph in, just as like a mosquito, fly in and just take a look around. Or you can fly in as a bat. But then the point is that you could dimension door out if there's any trouble.
The bad thing is too obvious. I know that sounds crazy, but
Right.
it's visible. It's just we don't have a good option here, and I wish I could come up with an idea, but I don't have one.
Yeah. That's fine.
Well, I liked my idea.
You had an idea?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was to be an
We
ant.
send Sylvia.
Right, that's what
the idea.
I'm backing up your
I don't
idea.
think we should do a mosquito in
We
case one of
send-
the bullywugs gets hungry and it's like lunch is flying
Something
in
that
your
moves
face.
faster than an ant, though.
Oh
Then I
yeah.
can fly
Like
yeah. I mean, we say
No.
we.
Oh, like a
Maybe.
rhinoceros.
like a dragonfly.
What's that?
That still
That's
looks
actually a
like
really good
lunch.
idea. That's fine. She's quick.
So are bullywug tongues.
Actually, I think that she would get eaten and then explode out.
I would, yeah.
Would
100%
that would
kill
rock,
them.
actually. Go for it.
She'd be okay.
Okay, well,
I think it's our best
I
option.
need an hour then. Well,
That's fine, let's-
Actually, probably half an hour at this point.
Let's relax. Let's have a drink, and then when you're ready,
Are you guys doing a diversion, or what are you doing? Sorry.
We're gonna wait until Sylvie's had a short rest, or
Mhm.
me, so that my spell slots replenish, and I'm going to polymorph into a
Small
dragonfly
flying
or
insect.
yeah, probably just a regular flying insect, and try to make my way in.
I would say that because it's closed, it's not like there's any large cracks that a dragonfly would be able to get into. I would say before you do that.
Housefly.
well, no, what about around?
insect.
I guess so. Do all of the portholes in the bottom? Would any of them just be open, or do you think did
I
they
would-
see they
I-
were all closed?
They may not be open, but they seem openable, and they were large that a human would be able to fit through.
There's no way we'd open one without being noticed. There's no way. I don't know.
You could always take the broom, make two of you invisible, and just fly along the side of the boat.
That's not going to help us in any way.
I mean, we'd be able to see in.
You could see in, and possibly, if no one's around, open it, slink in, get out, and if you need to get out, you have Dimension Door.
Or I could dimension door in, polymorph myself into a fly around, use my husband's overly large rod, and then just dimension door back out.
You just don't know what you're Dimension Dooring into. is the
Well,
problem.
Vanders described it to me, so I'm going to dimension door
I
to
don't like
that
that.
place towards the back, where the chairs were.
It's reasonable. It gets her inside.
I don't like the idea of you just rolling the bones. Just risking it.
Yeah.
So you would rather do that than go around and you can look through while invisible and see, oh, no one's in there.
I
Let me
literally
sneak in.
can't do anything while I'm invisible, and that's a complete waste of my resources right now if stuff happens. Especially if we can't find any way to get in, or there's nothing that we can do while I'm invisible, then it's literally just poof, gone.
Well, you can open a porthole while you're in there.
Yeah.
All right, I will. Whatever you would like to do there, it's your power, it's your magic.
I think we just need to make a decision. We're
Yeah,
running out
me
of
too.
time. We're leaving the option up to you.
Okay.
We trust you.
Okay, well, I want to do the exact opposite of anything that Rodic tells me to do.
All right, go for it.
What do you want me to do?
I definitely don't want you to go invisible and fly around and look in to the portholes and maybe find one you can get into, maybe with Vanders because he has a bat cloak, and then go in, and then I definitely don't want you to look around and hold the walkie-talkie in case something happens, and I definitely, if anything happens, either fly out as a bat or invisible or on the broom or dimension door out. I definitely don't want any of those things to happen.
Fuck you, Rodic. Vandris, you're coming with me.
All right.
Get on the room when I do exactly
Hold on,
the
hold on.
opposite of everything that he said.
Just be hidden when that happens.
I definitely
Don't be
won't
hidden.
Or
do
don't
that.
be hidden when that happens.
Come on, Vandris.
All right. You're in
Beautiful
charge.
motherfucker, let's do this.
Would you like to join me at a gambling table?
I would like to feign drunkenness and pass out with my ear to the ground and see if I hear anything through the floor.
Oh my god.
Okay. Make a performance check. Make a performance check.
You fall.
Just, for funsies.
Yeah.
Performance is 19.
19. You fall down. Everyone's like, classic. As you put your head down, and directly kind of where you are, you hear the shuffling of feet below you. Kind of sounds like that low slapping of the bullywug feet.
Okay. Do I hear any voices or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh, are you alright? Let me
Yeah,
help
know.
you up.
Get another drink,
All
friend.
right, let's go.
Okay.
We
Is
go
just
off.
you guys going?
We should head out the front.
We are, we're just gonna kind of slink away. I'm gonna cast invisibility. And then we're gonna jump on the broom.
So you got a short rest. So you enjoyed a short rest. And so you go invisible at stealth with advantage.
Do I get double of anything?
Oh, God. That's not fair. It was an 11, so.
25.
25.
16.
No.
16?
16. Well, no,
Plus.
19.
19? Okay. So you fly down on the broom. You get out, you fly alongside. And you notice that the back and the front of the ship, they both have these portholes, directly above the water line. And as you fly down, you look in, and it seems to be incredibly dark, but you can just see a very faint glowing, and the far end, deep into the middle of the ship. When you'll be able to go around the entire thing, but basically whether it's on the left or the right, you see kind of this faint glowing of green, pink, orange.
So it's
and
not
purple.
as vibrant or bright as it was before.
Well, you're only able to see the back and the front of the ship, but it's not like there's a glowing coming from in the middle.
Okay,
But it's not like it's illuminating the entire thing. Vanders, make a perception check for me.
Come on. One time tonight. Give
Do
me a
it.
good one, baby. Right here.
You have luck.
You do have lucky.
I'm going to use my inspiration
Okay.
instead of a luck point. Come on, one time. That's a little bit better. I got a 17.
17. I'll say that with this you notice that although the portholes seem to be very clearly locked, these large circular portholes, you feel like these would be able to be tinkered with to be open from the outside.
I'll tell Sylvie. So I actually think that if you can hold the broom steady, I can probably try to get one of these open, and it looks like, from what we can see, that nobody's gonna immediately be on the inside of this porthole. They're all really deep in the center of the ship.
Hold on. Do not go invisible. Do not fly around the ship. Do not open. Yes, we should do that.
Okay.
100%, yeah.
Do I need to use my lockpick tools?
Yes, make a dexterity check.
Hold on. Pick that lock, you pretty bass. Fuck, I hate being a bard. You're inspired, right?
I've never been more inspired in my life.
Wonderful. I'm gonna try and think of something better, and I'll just tell you afterwards, but I won't do anything. So you do that while I think.
1d6?
Yeah.
This is just straight dex check.
Plus proficiency.
Oh my god, you scared the
So
shit out
15 plus 8, right?
Yep. Yeah.
20.
You manage to
29.
kind of work your tools and
24.
hear as it opens a little bit, and it opens to the point that you could easily comfortably, all four of you could easily comfortably fit in.
I like pick locks and I cannot lie. And that's all I've gotten so far.
And then I said that was great, and I'd like to see Angela do that. And then we head in.
Oh no, she's not a bard.
Okay. So, you enter the belly of the hungry catfish, and it's incredibly dark. And as you kind of creep around, you see kind of the hallways and stairs that make up the inside of this hole, the large stairwell that goes up to where Rodek and Annulin are waiting. And as you kind of peek ahead to the large center of the hole, it's mostly dark. However, you can see down near the center of the ship several eerily colored lights illuminating some of the roulette wheel shaped fight ring and the balcony above. That's what you see.
I defer to you. You've been in here or something.
Yeah, so I would say what I'd try to do is whisper to Sylvie and tell her where to fly the broom to get as close to where I was the last time, and try to hunker down.
Okay. So you fly up, and you guys are flying through, and you see as you approach, you can now easily see that balcony where you had watched from above. Is the glowing is more apparent, is now lined with dimly lit candles. Small flames of green, purple, pink, and orange. Down below in the fight ring, you now see a lot more clearly as you're flying kind of in the air. Resting on top of the center of the wheelhead, the center of this roulette table, is an egg. It's large, nearly swollen, with a deeply dark green shell. So dark it almost looks black. You recognize now that it's the egg that you treated to Guru, but probably 3 times larger than it was the night before.
Fuck.
It's propped up by 4 strange wooden totems, carved into intricate skull mask figures. The eyes of each of these masks glows with eerie flame. Down at the base of the wheelhead is a ring of candles, lit with more brightly glowing flame.
I whisper to Sylvie, we should try to fly down as close as we can, but let's get within listening range, but no closer.
Sure.
You fly down, and there's no one there. It is ghostly quiet. You're staying pretty far away, but this is not the meeting that you were expecting. This is not something. It seems to be that this has been set up and is happening.
He's incubating it.
So here's the thing. We have a couple options. You know roughly how long we have until the invisibility drops, right?
I do. Probably about
45, 30 minutes?
I would say 45 minutes. Probably 45 minutes, yeah.
We could hang out and wait to see if anyone shows up. Or we could do the least Rodek thing I can possibly ever think of.
Okay, I'm listening.
And maybe steal that egg back.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Do you think you can get out of here?
By myself?
Yes. If you had the broom?
With or without the egg?
Without it.
No problem. I don't even need the broom.
Okay. I like this idea.
Does it look like the egg might fit through one of the portholes?
Absolutely not.
Ah!
It doesn't even look like you'd be able to lift it up. It was barely like liftable as it was. It's very large.
I don't suppose you being able to dimension door with the thing, You'd have to be able to pick it up, wouldn't you?
I'm thinking about that currently.
Furiously looking.
I'm furiously thinking about it.
I would say this
I
would
don't
qualify
believe
as a
so.
large item regardless.
As a large item.
It would be large. So that size restriction still applies.
No, I could not. But one more question.
Sure.
You talk to me right now while I look into what I have available to myself.
You know that we haven't heard from them in a while.
It's for the
I
best.
wonder what they're doing.
Yeah, why don't you like do them real quick? Because I've got
So
luck.
you guys are on the deck of the ship. You have a sense that your friends are in mortal fucking peril, and you are drinking. You are drinking, and you haven't heard from them in a while. And you are noticing that there are more and more people kind of stumbling off drunk. They can't. You get the sense that they're not even like barely able to see in front of them, and the bullywugs are just waving goodbye, and people are kind of slumped forward, hanging off the edge.
Not yelling.
Well, we haven't heard from them. I hope they're all right.
I know.
Thank you for the
Oh,
raid,
thank you for the raid,
Castle
Castle
Matt.
Matt. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Macolites and
Welcome.
Welcome,
Castle Matt.
Acolytes. Welcome. There's a
Thank
pretty tense
you.
situation.
They're called
here.
Macolites.
Yeah, it's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
Oh, that's really actually,
Yeah.
that's really
That's
clever.
very cute.
I like that.
Set the scene real quick.
Oh,
What's happening?
duh.
Oh, so
It's,
the
like,
party has infiltrated a riverboat in this swamp town. Oh, thank you. The party has infiltrated this huge riverboat in this gambling swamp town, and the unscrupulous gentleman who runs this riverboat is a voodoo practitioner that they've made a deal with and traded a green dragon egg that they got in this campaign 3 years ago, and they've now discovered that it's being incubated allegedly,
I have one more.
and so.
I've been sitting on
They
this for years.
were currently with the party is split, which is a really good idea. I recommend the party splitting in a
Always
situation
split
like
the
this.
Yeah, go right.
And they're deciding what to do down below deck, and then the other party is here. So what are you guys doing?
Are you still asking us? Or
No,
them?
them.
No.
Okay.
We're conspiring.
We're
Hold on.
conspiring.
You have a rocky talkie.
So I would say.
I'll, yeah, I guess I'll just grab my walkie-talkie and I
You
say,
still have one of those?
yeah. Do you know it?
No, I pretty much gave everyone's away.
Well, I still have one. I know Avantris still has one.
No, it's gotta be a creature.
Thanks for the follow.
Okay.
Oh,
you
you
do.
follow!
Follow.
Thank you!
Alright, so then that actually. So the only thing I ask is you don't repeat what I
I
told
will
you.
not.
Okay.
I plan on not saying anything.
Avantris! Sylvie, can you hear me?
I don't have a walkie-talkie.
I'm gonna pull it out and say, hey, we need a minute. We're okay. We need a minute. And then I'm just gonna put it down.
Alright. Just let us know. Give a holler. They're alright. They're alright.
So unfortunately, I think those
Could
were my
I look
only
around
ideas.
and see, like, if bullywugs are... Like, I want to see, like, a general sense. Are people asking for the things that are being served to them, or are they being, like, kind of force-fed these?
So people are asking.
No.
Every single person, you're kind of observing the crowd. They're asking, but they are definitely being kind of pressured and encouraged. But they're the ones that are giving in. They're asking for the drinks. They're asking for the drugs. They are putting in more money and rolling, trying to roll the hard six.
Do I get any sense that there's, like... I don't know that I would be able to detect this, but, like, is there any sort of, like a magical thing, or is it just...
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. I don't even know that would be something I would... Ooh, 21.
21. You get the sense that this is definitely strange. I mean, you expect like a big party town, and it is a carnival. It's, you know, it's 5 days of Nuit Blanche, that it's a big deal, and people are, but it seems like people are just really easily going in, spending a ton of money, getting fucking trashed.
Okay.
So,
We've asked this question multiple
Yeah.
times, and I just haven't been able to
Yeah.
get it straight. The permanent teleport locations, those are destinations, not leaving points.
yes. And you guys recall that it is, this egg seems to be very fastened to these totems.
Using what?
You did not get close enough, but it
Okay.
seems to be fastened, kind of almost like being, like almost into the shell of this egg.
Fused.
I think we just have to meet up with them and let them know what we saw. I mean, I really don't think there's anything we can do.
I think we've exhausted our options,
And
unfortunately.
it really, really bothers me that I can't do the exact thing Rodak would want me to do the least in this world. Nothing has ever broken my heart more.
I'm sure they're being very responsible right now.
This is really difficult.
Let's before we go, if we have some time left on the invisibility while no one else is here, let's get a bit of a closer look.
Okay.
And let's just see what we can find and
Okay.
any change in anything and we'll hang out as long as we can to see if anyone shows up.
I will do this, yes.
So let's fly in closer towards the egg.
Okay. So, you fly in closer, and you kind of fly around, and as you get closer, let me make a perception check.
Oh, yeah. And yes, we do have to meet up, Mac. Thank you for hanging out.
Yes.
We need it. We're too close to not hang out.
I have rolled so many 2s
Two.
for my perception.
A
So
13.
I got a 5.
A 13. You notice that this egg is very tightly wedged on this platform on top of this. What did I call it?
Wheeled head.
Yeah, wheel. Yeah, whatever it is. On top of this roulette thing, and you notice that the candles are lining the entire balcony. But there's a empty space, kind of on the balcony of the circular balcony. In the center, there's an empty space, and you kind of you see the idea that it is fascinated. There's kind of this wood and there's kind of a faint glowing outline of where these totems connect to the shell of the egg, outlined, and kind of matching the color of flame in each of these wooden fetishes.
So I get the idea that we probably can't do anything to the egg itself. And even if we were to destroy these totems, he would have them rebuilt overnight, and then it would continue right where it left off.
Yeah.
I didn't notice anything.
No, I would have told you all of that.
Yeah.
Do we want to go take a look at that empty space and just see why it's
Yeah, of course we do.
missing? It's bizarre.
Absolutely.
You fly up to the area, and you see that right by this empty space there is a single door that is that seems to go in further in and then up to the inside of the ship.
That's probably how he gets in here.
Does there appear to be a lock on the door?
There does.
Annulin could pick that in a heartbeat.
I'm sure I can pick it better. Are we sure we want to go through with this?
Would Rodak want us to?
Absolutely not.
Then yes. Yes, I do.
So our plan, if we get into danger, is you're going to dimension door out of here and I'm going to fly out. Or can we just get out?
Together. I can take you with me.
Done.
I just couldn't take you with me if I was trying to hold that egg. And then I looked at it and I was like, wow, that egg is a thick boy. I won't be able to take that egg with me.
I'll hop off the room and try the door.
Okay. As you're gonna investigate the door, you're going to pick it.
I want to try to see if it's locked first.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
My investigation's pretty good, I think. Yeah, 25.
25. You notice it is locked, and there is absolutely some kind of magical enchantment on this.
Well, there's
Okay.
magic guarding it.
Yeah, well. Ready to get out?
We have no way to dispel it, do we?
No.
We can't risk being seen here at this point. And if it's any kind of an identifying enchantment or, even if it was just... You're probably right. We should probably go.
We should. Let's bust down that door. I'm kidding. No, it was a joke. Don't worry, I'm not that crazy.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Well, let's go let the guys know. I mean...
All right, we'll head back. And then what I'd like to do is, relock up the porthole, basically.
Okay. You do that. I would say it's pretty effortless to do that. You fly back up and meet your companions.
So before we get up, we'll drop invisibility and then go in like normal.
Okay.
I think maybe we should retire for the evening. It's getting very early in the morning.
All right. Oh, you're safe. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Oh, you're Safe
Yeah, of
from
course.
all the booze we've been drinking,
I was
right?
puking up a storm. I got some in my hair, but Vandris brushed it out and
I did.
gave him a mage handy. We came right back up here.
All right, well,
She did.
What?
Yeah, just normal riverboat thing.
Well, let's get going, guys.
so,
Did you guys relay the information to them?
No.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So you all leave.
And then once we get back to the boat or to,
no, it
On
would be
our
like
way.
literally like right after we get off the boat.
On
Like,
our-
Yeah.
What did you
as-
see?
As we
Yeah.
start walking.
Oh my god, the dragon egg's a thick boy now.
What does that mean?
It's growing.
He's
Yeah, he's
like hooked it
growing
up to
at
this
an
weird
alarming
totem
rate.
thing, and it's like triple the size that it was when we gave it to him just yesterday.
It's not good. We couldn't lift the egg. It
He's
was-
hurching an erg.
That.
What?
Look, the egg is nearly
So
indestructible.
he's clearly not a man of his word.
What do you mean? That's where we fucked up. I told him that if we delivered him the chalice, he wasn't allowed to use it. We never said he wasn't allowed to do anything with the egg, but put it on his shelf. Not once did he ever tell us he wouldn't.
Look, we thought about destroying the egg. We thought about destroying the totems, but we figured they just rebuilt
There's
them.
no, we can't just walk in and.
There was a door that seemed to lead up somewhere deeper up into the ship, but it was the door was locked and guarded by magic,
Yeah,
and we didn't
like
want to
deep
chance it.
into his bowels. Deep in there.
I'll be honest, we even thought about trying to steal the egg back, but there was no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There's no way.
We can't be fighting both Guru and Alphonse at the same time.
So
It would be
what do you do?
suicide. It would be suicide.
So what is he going to do? Ride a dragon and rain hellfire on all of Hogway? Like, what is his
I
plan?
don't know.
We are so far in over our heads right now. I've been saying this for weeks. Every time I think we're getting closer to something, we're just getting farther away. More questions than we have answers for.
Yeah. That's all
What?
I was saying was the word
Oh.
yeah.
Then maybe we just tell Amalia and tell Gullhaven and just have them bring the whole fleet down.
You think they can get here in time? We have... Sorry, my skin is not a watch. I keep having to remind myself that. We have 4 days.
They won't get here.
They're not going to get here in time.
mean-
Oh my god, I had an idea. What if Guru is sending us after Alphonse in the 4-day time period because he has some... That thing grew crazy amounts in one day. What if his plans are for the festival and it's a diversion?
I don't know what to say.
Still, if it's
Should we research what kind of egg that is, by the way? Is it supposed to be like blacky in color?
we know it's a green dragon egg, right?
You found it in the Green Dragon lair.
So we made an assumption.
Yeah.
Stands
It was like
reason.
very, very green, but it was almost like black in how green it was.
It's like a dark green.
Yeah.
Will we know if that's normal or not for an egg?
I don't think any of you would have any way of knowing that.
Would Ganji have known and possibly have told us?
Well, I thought he wrote back to reported on it, but we never got a reply.
I would say it was probably odd, but they weren't that concerned with it.
So, as we walk to the diversion point, it may be a diversion. I still don't think that Guru wants us to just cross the threshold into Alphonse's home and die immediately. He
No,
still
but-
has to have somebody deal with.
But the idea
The damn
is,
vampire.
if he has a plan for that night,
True.
what is a better way to get us out of the picture than to give us amulets that only work on that night? I said amulets, not annulin. Okay? your weird knifey ears perked up
And
when
we'll
I
be
said it.
we'll be stuck
They
in that damn
distort the
mansion.
sounds.
And we would literally be neck deep in a Dracula. Oh, that sounds terrible. That's not a good movie. We should not be. If we
Gods.
were there, then he could do whatever he wanted with the town. And it's interesting that all of a sudden people are starting to die more,
Right.
and it's like everything's ramping up. And what if it's a diversion?
So I wouldn't have thought until our last meeting that Guru wanted anything other than control over this city. But he specifically mentioned burning it to the ground.
Oh, he did? I was really mad.
Specifically mentioned it.
Hmm.
Now, at the time, I didn't think it was literal.
With a dragon, he could quite literally burn the entire city to the
That's
ground.
right. Or at least whatever green dragons breathe.
We found it in poison. But are we even sure it's a green dragon? What if it's like a hybrid green dragon, black dragon?
Was it black dragon?
Because the black, remember we were in that layer of the black dragon? What if the blackness of it has something to do with, I don't really think so. Well, with that being said, that's all I was saying.
I don't know. I legitimately don't know what to do at this point.
Me either.
We need help.
I feel like we're caught between a rock and a tug job.
Ew.
No, that's not. No, you're making this up.
Don't do that.
It's close.
Oh, so close. Almost held it.
Well, let's retire for the night. Let's get some rest. And perhaps we just go back to Gullhaven tomorrow and we just talk to people. See how they can help us.
I mean, I think that's the only thing we could do.
We need help.
And maybe a good night's rest, similar to what happened last night. I was telling all those jokes, nobody laughed at them. Rodek grunted and walked away from me. I guess it's usual. And then we slept, and in the morning, everybody had clearer ideas. And
That's right.
we've used those ideas to get absolutely nowhere, and to get more deep into a pile of shit. So maybe if we sleep tonight, we can do the same thing.
Have we asked Orpheus about dragon eggs?
No, but it doesn't hurt.
I
He's
don't
been helpful
like
so
telling
far.
him things if we don't have to, but like
Give me the
maybe
rocky
he'll
top.
know.
I take the rock out and I hand
I feel
it
like
to
we need
Sully.
to destroy this thing.
Breaker 19, Master Orpheus, this is Sylvie Flicker Wicket,
Don't call him
and
Master.
shut up, I'm trying to butter his
It's
buttons.
gonna
No,
be
no, she can keep talking.
It's gotta be like 5 a.m.
Yeah,
She
shut
can
up.
keep talking. I know you guys only went to Friday quarter at 8, like or sundown.
I'm trying to butter his buttons,
No,
guys.
because this was after we staked out.
Yeah, but that was only like at 8. So you guys have been doing.
Well, no,
all
he
the-
showed up at 9, so it's probably
Yeah,
like midnight.
It's probably like probably
Okay.
2 in the morning. Yeah.
Alright.
1 or 2.
Breaker 19, Master
Like Switch
Orpheus,
with Ghost.
this is Sylvie Flicker Wicket, and
Keep going.
I am trying to butter your buttons because
I know.
do you know what a green dragon egg looks like?
Yeah, no, of course.
What does it
Who
look
doesn't
like?
study? That's elementary stuff.
Right, that's exactly what I'm thinking, because you're so smart, Orpheus, like the smartest of the smart. By the way, did I tell you you're my best friend?
Well, I appreciate that. I don't have friends because I'm the villain, so it's fine.
Yeah, but except for me. Anyway, what color is it?
It's green.
Like what
Green
color?
dragon would be green. Yes, that's right.
Like what color? Like
Like
what color
green.
green? Like, is it a lime green?
I don't know.
Is it a
It's
chartreuse?
green. Darker than normal. Why?
Is it an emerald green? Is it a forest
I never
green?
took art class.
Is it an avocado green?
I don't know. No. Oh, avocado. That yeah, similar. I mean,
So
a little,
it's like
little lighter.
mostly black.
Well, no, not mostly black. No.
So if there was a green dragon egg that was like so green it was mostly black, what would that make you think of?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe a certain breed or hybrid or something. Maybe.
Like a hybrid between a green dragon and a black dragon?
Stands to reason. Why do you ask about a dragon?
If there was a green dragon hybrid with a black dragon, how on the scale of like terrifying the dragons may be would you say that dragon would be?
That would not be ideal. How big is this dragon?
Well, it's like in an egg form now.
How big is the egg?
Like 4 me's? Well, probably more than that.
How many me's? How many Sylvies big would it be? Like tall?
It would probably be like 3 Sylvies.
Yeah, it's like 3 Sylvies tall. So like around 9
And it's
feet.
still in an egg.
Yeah, like 9 feet.
What horrible abomination are you dealing with?
Oh, nothing. Just a vampire lich. Love you so much. Bye.
Kill it!
No, hold on. Go on. Why does it concern you so much?
Oh,
Is
no.
he scared?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Orpheus
eggs-
is scared.
He's scared.
Eggs usually hatch to a wormling, which is, it's about 1 Sylvie. Actually, no, bigger than Sylvie. Maybe a Sylvie and a half. What egg are you talking about?
Oh my god, that would make me a wormling.
There was an egg in Pridefall. I don't know if you heard anything about it while you were there. There was an egg in Pridefall.
I knew there was a
We had-
dragon, yes.
Well, there was an egg that was green, kind of dark black. It looked green. We thought it was green. We had a dragonborn. He told us it was a green dragonborn.
He's a dumb dragonborn.
And
And we traded it to Guru for something very useful to defeat Alphonse.
That's the vampire lich.
And now we've learned that he's growing this thing with all sorts of voodoo magic, with totems tied to it.
How long ago
we
did you
got
do this?
swindled.
Yesterday?
It grew like quadruple the size in one day.
In one night?
And,
Are you going to wait around while it grows?
Well, no, we don't know what to do. How do you kill a dragon egg?
I don't know, smash it or something.
Okay.
Alright, like
Smash
now? How much time do you think we have?
If it grew 3 times in one night, how big will it be? What's happening?
We don't know. Orpheus, we don't know.
I'm far more afraid of dragons than I am of liches. At least they're not big nerds.
Oh, God. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds terrible.
So what do we do?
Well, judging by the two of your reactions, not good news?
No, Orpheus seems very alarmed and concerned that we should destroy it immediately.
Does he know how to kill it? Or
It
Blow
looks
it up?
pretty indestructible to me.
You could try.
Well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go kick the door down and then go destroy Garu's egg? And then he's gonna kill us before we ever have a chance to face off against Alphonse?
Why don't we go back? We do the same thing. You guys go invisible, and just from far away, you just shoot an Eldritch Blast at it and see what happens.
what
That's
if nothing
assuming-
happens?
What's an
and then
Eldritch
the cover's
Blast?
blown.
Or a glitter lance.
Yeah,
What are you guys going to do?
Orpheus, Master Orpheus, whose buttons have been thoroughly buttered at this point. I don't fucking know.
You're going to need all of you. I had all of you attack my creepy pillars for a reason. With your powers combined, you can take out something like that, but to just have one of you is silly.
Well,
With our powers combined, we are Captain Planet.
how do we all get in there then? So you don't think that one Eldritch Blast would kill this thing?
Absolutely not, no. If it's 3 times the size of a normal dragon egg.
Can I speak to Orpheus? Thank you. Orpheus, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Vanny Poo. Breaker, try again.
No, okay, alright, okay. So, how much time do we need to destroy this thing?
With all your considered efforts, I don't know, but you'll have to give it the business.
My name in the business is the business.
Alright, we're gonna have to find a way in there.
And even if you don't destroy the egg, if whatever comes out of it will be force it to hatch early.
Fantastic. Alright, I'm putting the rock down. We may have more questions for you, just stand by if you could.
And, Orpheus, if I die, will you make sure that, well, you can just have my room.
Thanks, I've already put a few things there, so.
Orpheus, you take
I'm
the
kidding,
hit.
I'm kidding, I
Okay,
didn't do that.
But if I
I didn't do
die, you can.
Okay, if you die.
Okay,
Hopefully
cool.
you don't, though.
Thanks. Bye, Orpheus. Have a good night.
Toodles. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, bye, Dragon Egg.
Alright. So, what he's saying essentially is that if we find a way to get the 4 of us down there again, provided that there's nobody guarding it and that it's still empty down there, the 4 of us working together may be able to destroy the egg itself, but there's still something inside that may hatch early. I guess the idea is that we could potentially handle it as in its current state, as opposed to it being some full-grown monstrosity. The problem is that as soon as we do that, if we get into a full-blown battle in the belly of Garu's casino ship, he's going to know, and then we'll never make it to the full moon.
Do we have a way to break it and then we could teleport out right away, right? We do it once.
With the creature?
No, not with the creature. We get in. I'm trying to think of how do we get out.
Orpheus wants us to kill the creature. He says we have to do it now.
Well, do we? My point is if we destroy the egg or destroy the creature or something, if we need to get out in a hurry, how long does it take for us to teleport out? It takes 10 minutes, doesn't it?
No, it's one action.
One action?
Right?
Yeah, one action. We could all teleport away.
With the dragon egg? After it's broken or before?
No, I think that if we go through with this course of action, we have to kill whatever's inside.
No, for sure.
Orpheus seemed pretty adamant about it.
After all this time carrying this thing around, and here we are.
Every time it was just still an egg.
Every time, and now it's clearly not just an egg. So how do we get inside?
I mean...
You make them invisible, they take the broom, and you dimension door me inside? Now that you know the lay of the land?
Technically, yeah.
Then you'll be out of juice.
I'll be out of juice.
Could we sneak in?
I can have one more juices. That's it.
And you remember that the porthole was easily visible from the outside.
If that we could fly one of us in at a time through the open porthole, and then we don't have to waste any spells. If no one is in the room guarding it, we can waltz right in, just like we did. And then we save our spells and our abilities for the escape.
Yeah. We could do that.
I'm assuming that Guru is just going to let it sit there and do its thing, and he doesn't have anyone actively sitting on the inside. We do know that there is a door down there, presumably that probably comes from his office, or somewhere else from wherever he's living in that ship. So he does have access to the belly of the ship that is not those ramps. So, I mean, we just have to... The only thing I am concerned about is that if we cross him now, there is no going back.
No. But if he hatches that thing, there's also no going back.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And Orpheus seemed pretty adamant about us dealing with it immediately.
Well, Orpheus, yeah, I thought you were going to say Alphonse, and blah, blah, I don't care what he wants. He ranks just one rung below the person I want to do the opposite of more.
And Guru's clearly killing people, or wants these people to die. In droves. From drink or suicide or whatever.
Something's not right about that. It's not just festival hype. It's
Right.
It also doesn't... Not to belabor the point, because we need to move, but it doesn't make sense. That's not his MO. He wants to make money off these people.
Right.
What does he gain from killing all the citizens of Agwe?
Well, if he really is
Or
a
even
devil...
just tourists.
he's feeding on their
If
pain
he
and
really
their
is a
suffering.
devil, then it's souls.
Here's what we do. You use your spell to shroud us. I can walk on water. I don't know how...
You won't be able to climb up the side of the boat. The porthole's
At least
Sylvie-
without making a ton of noise.
Sylvie, what we do is you take your boat and we just go along the river. And we row out. Hopefully it's night. Hopefully we can go around the side. We can find a porthole that's on the backside of the ship, out of clear view. Hopefully we can be as stealthy as we can in the middle of the night.
Fly us up one by
Fly
one.
up. You drop a rope down, and then we all climb up. We pull the boat up.
But again, there's no going back. We destroy the egg, we see what's inside, we kill whatever's in the egg, and then we prepare to face the wrath of Guru.
That's
To be
right.
fair, I could take the three of us in one trip on the broom. You're just stinky and very heavy.
Well, then you three go. Drop me a rope.
Fine.
I will walk along the water.
Okay.
And if he turns out to be some horrible other planar creature that we've now broken a deal with, there could be horrible consequences.
Yeah.
We just need to be prepared for anything.
I'm ready to pay the consequences if it means that I can save the lives of people in Agwe. But I'm not ready to live with these deaths on my conscience.
Alright, well,
We don't have a choice.
how about you two go on the broom, Annulan stays with me with the shroud. You can unlock the thing,
Yeah.
throw down a rope, we'll climb up.
Let's go.
How's she gonna get on the water?
Carry me.
I'll carry her. Easy.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So you do that. You're gonna cast Shroud?
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast Shroud of whatever it's called.
Pass without a trace.
Pass without a trace.
And I just
So when
dice
rolls
on the ground.
advantage, and you add plus 10 or whatever.
And we'll stay within.
Yeah, plus
it's
10
gotta
to
be
your
within
dex.
10
Your
feet of
stealth.
her.
30 feet.
30 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, then we'll
What is
just
what does
fly
it add
over
to my
her.
stealth?
Plus 10.
10.
Oh, okay. I got a 39.
Okay.
I got a 33.
Okay.
30.
No way.
29.
29. Okay. So, Rodek is carrying.
You were
you
dead
all are
last.
very stealthy. You zip back out into the street. You, Rodek and Annulin jump onto the river. Both of you go. I'll say you kind of left it so you could pick it again. You were able to open it again, and you open it. And how you guys are getting up there?
They're gonna drop a
Drop
rope.
Okay.
That
You
one
have a
rope.
rope. You drop it down. I would say with your strength, it was like 20.
20.
Yeah, you are able to climb up one-handed, or both of you are able to climb up really easily.
Put her
As
on
you
the
all
rope.
get into
Carry me out the rope.
as you all get into the dark
So excited.
belly,
I'm so excited.
the dark belly of this. Sorry, where's music? Yeah, as you all get into the dark belly of this, right ahead of you, you see those same 4 totems grafted to this massive egg, as it seems to occasionally kind of almost. You're not sure if your eyes are playing tricks. It almost seems to kind of get bigger right before your eyes, it's all very deathly still as you all enter.
Oh,
I want to listen around to see if I hear literally anything.
Perception check.
15.
15. Okay. You don't hear anything. It's very still. I guess you occasionally hear like the roar of the crowd and the music from upstairs, but you don't hear anything from in this chamber. It's eerily quiet. You hear the kind of creaking of the ship as it occasionally settles.
I think what we have to do is hit it with everything we've got, all at one time.
That's
I
right.
agree.
And if we need to get out of here, we have the broom. You have the bat.
Yep.
Can you hold 2 of us on the broom?
Yeah, I got Annulin.
Is there any way I could fit you?
With me, no. But how about this? You guys take the broom. Because it could fit the both of you. And I'll do my very best to save a few of my resources to get myself out of here.
Or you can polymorph me into something and fly out.
Or take him and I'll just keep my shroud up and swim out.
That sounds too dangerous.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to do that.
Who? I don't think I've ever flown the broom. Have you?
I don't think
You've
so.
flown it once. It
I
was
did.
really poor form, but it's fine.
So why don't you take the broom, and then you can dimension door us out if we
I
need to.
can, yeah.
Yeah, done.
Alright.
All right, let's get down there and ready ourselves.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, you make your way creeping. You see the candles illuminating the balcony up ahead as the egg with those 4 glowing totems grafted to it. It's kind of shedding a dim, colorful light at this roulette, which is also, this roulette wheel is also encircled by candles. It's up above you. What are you doing?
We're
I
gonna
Shitting
go
my
in and just
pants.
all attack at once.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we just need to hit it all together
Yeah.
with everything we've got.
Our
Okay.
powers combined. We are
Killing
Dragon
this
Damn
egg.
It.
Dragon damn.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
the best I could do.
Okay, I need everyone to make attack rolls at the same time. And you're each going to take one. What colors are you attacking? Orange, purple, pink, and
Pink.
green.
I got pink.
Green.
Oh, we're attacking the totem.
The
totems.
totems.
Okay.
Yeah, because we gotta get it
At least down.
down.
I'll take.
I want anything that isn't green.
I'm shooting both of my Eldritch
I'll take green.
blasts,
Okay.
or my glitter lances at it.
Okay?
So what's left over? I just want something
Orange.
that's not green.
Orange.
Yeah.
All right, the orange. It's not moving.
Wait, how many did there was 4, right?
Yeah.
Do we get our double
purple.
attacks?
I got
I would
purple.
say
Okay.
double attacks and advantage on all these rolls.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
I got a
Double
natural
attack
20.
and advantage.
Okay, roll damage.
Ooh, a natty 20.
Oh my god.
That's 2
Wow.
natural 20s.
Okay, hold on.
23 is my lowest out of my 2 hits.
Okay.
So
12. Okay, so natty 20.
I got a 19 and a 27
and
to
a
hit.
23.
Okay, both hit. Yep.
I did 20 damage.
20
in
damage?
total.
I'm confused. Hold on.
45 points of
45
damage.
points of damage. Rodek?
12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 33 damage.
33 damage. And what do you get?
I'm confused.
Is it higher than 20?
Hold on. Yeah,
Should
probably.
be.
Hold on.
If you got a natural 20 out of
Yeah.
it. So.
With double attack, one of those is a crit, so...
21?
21.
I don't know if
Okay.
that's right.
That's enough. That's enough.
Okay.
21 hit points.
Okay.
You all stand around, all four, aligning with the four handles. And you give everything you got as you hack into, stab, fire arrows, and blast into it. You hear a loud as the lights go out of the totems. And the egg lands on top of the top of this roulette, this centerpiece, with a loud crack. But suddenly, as soon as you hear the loud slam of the egg, all of the candles along the balcony erupt into flame.
Fucker.
Oh, fuck.
As
Oh, did we just
the
ignore
flames
it?
shooting up of the skull fetishes shoot out around and then dim, as if they were supposed to, and being destroyed has disrupted that.
Can I try to hit the egg?
It's the totems are below you, and it's up high. It's up high.
Fallen.
And this is all happening right now. And as you see the flames illuminating the inside of this riverboat in these columns of vibrant multicolored flame, in the center gap, you see the silhouette of a tall man. Remy Guru looks down at you with furrowed brow, complete in his pristine three-piece purple suit and top hat, looming tall over you with a furrowed brow and rage on his face.
Fucked it up.
His shadow is cast onto the wall behind him, starts to shift into a longer, slender, taller man than he is.
Motherfucker!
Y'all are a few crawfish short of an etouffee, sticking your noses in my plans and ruining everything I've been working for years. After being so chummy with that vampire son of a bitch. No matter. It's honestly been a pleasure doing business with y'all. But it seemed as if our working arrangement has come to an end. Let me introduce you to my boy. Guru reaches in his coat and throws up the swirling green dice that shoot 4 blasts of voodoo all around. As blasts the egg, and while it does not grow any larger, the fire ramps up all along the balconies, despite it being a wooden ship. It does not catch fire. And now you see, amidst the gyrating flame and shadows dancing on the walls, this massive egg that you've been carrying for months starts to crack. And that's where we'll end the session.
No! What nuts in it?
We are so fucked.
We're so fucked.
I hate this. And this fucking music.
Oh,
God.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry it's late. I apologize. Thank you, players, for staying up.
Oh my God.
It was a great session.
No.
With that, I think, are we gonna raid somebody?
yeah, let's read somebody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
hanging
you.
out with us.
Thank you so much for
Thanks,
the raid,
guys.
Castle
Yeah,
Mac.
thank you.
Thanks for the raid.
If anyone is still here from the
followers,
Castle Mac crew, thank you
Oh
so
my
much for hanging out with us. We really
God.
appreciate it.
Followers, the subs, all the good
We
stuff.
love all of you
Thanks.
guys very much. And we
Let's
will be
raid.
back next week. Yeah?
For the last time ever.
For the last time
Yeah,
ever.
right?
Show up next Wednesday at
exciting
7:30
So we just
if you would
achieved
like
that.
to watch all of us die horribly in the
okay.
underbelly of a ship.
Yeah, and so thank you. We'll be at
Oh my
MagFest this
God.
weekend if you want to come hang. We'll be back with Feywild, right? On Tuesday?
On Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday will be Feywild, and then thanks, Dusty.
Excellent cliffhanger.
My boy Dusty.
Thanks, Dusty.
Thanks, Dusty.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna die.
I literally don't want to stop playing. I don't think that it's fair that we don't get to continue right now.
I mean, I've kept you guys up way longer than I should have, but I appreciate it. I would play for another. Yeah, we could go, but
I've got the
Yay.
full body
yay.
tingle.
We're gonna raid our friend Mel.
nice.
Swim Bananas.
Swim Bananas. She's amazing, and show her love.
Show her the lovely
she is
Avantris
phenomenal,
fam.
and she's the greatest and the sweetest and a hottie.
This is
so.
true. This is
She's
true.
amazing.
Show her
Yeah,
your
guys.
hooters.
see you guys
sense of love.
next week. Love you
Love
guys.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Right now.